Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another rendition of Delete Laws. Thank you guys so much for coming on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Do me a favor, everybody. Hit the like button. It'll only take 2 seconds for you to hit that like button, if you would, please. And then hit down into the comment section OTVO. Overturn Terry versus Ohio. So the video we're going to go over today was put out 8 days ago by the Real News Network. 898,000 subscribers. I think this is a video that was sent in from one of Taya's subscribers over there at the Real News Network. As you guys can see already, I've already hit the like button. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, drop in love for the algorithm. Always drop a comment on your favorite creators' YouTube page so that they can get the credit they deserve for putting out some good content. So Taya here is going to break down, and what we're going to look at here today. Did everybody hit the like button? Did everybody hit the like button? Like button deployed. Has everybody hit the like button? And then what we're going to do is we're going to get into this video, and we're going to talk today specifically about what detainment actually means. What does detainment mean? Where does that term come from, detainment? How come? Why is that a term? Where does that come from exactly? I'm not really sure where it comes. Oh shit. There goes a light. Sorry about that. But let's get into the video a little bit and let's see exactly what Taya is talking about so that we can see, so we can break down the examples of what detainment actually means. If you don't know what detainment means, then you might be a little bit confused. So let's jump right into this. Did everybody hit the like button? I mean, it just seems like every single day, day in and day out, YouTube is shadow banning this channel so badly, and there's nothing I can do about it. All I can do is educate y'all. So that's what I'm going to do. This is going to be how and why you're detained, what detainment means, where that comes from, and exactly what we can do about this term called detainment and the ridiculousness that detainment. Where does that come from? There's a couple questions for you. Where does the term detainment come from? Let's get into it.
The story starts in Greenbrier, Arkansas, in a driveway, no less. That's where Sean Bresnahan had just pulled into his home, parked his car, and was looking
Sean Bresnahan.
under the hood to check his engine. And that's when police arrived almost immediately and began making accusations. Take a look.
Our police department. I'm good. Reason I stopped you, your tags.
Yeah, I got to get them took care of. I just got it running last night.
Okay.
It's been sitting parked for.
Hey, this is Greenbrier. I'm at Walmart for a minute.
I got you. You got your driver's license with you?
I don't have it on me.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
I do.
Okay. What's your name?
Sean Bresnahan.
All right. You want to step back here with me? Let me get your name and stuff. See what's going on with it.
So he says you want to step back here and get your name and stuff. I believe they're at the man's house, at Sean Bresnia's house. They're at his house. So do you want to step back here with me so I can get your name and stuff? They're in the man's driveway. They're in his driveway. That's what's happening.
Back here with me. Let me get your name and stuff.
Come back here and let me get your name and stuff.
See what's going on with it.
See what's going on with it.
What's been going on with it?
PD 2700 status.
All right, Sean, put your phone down.
Okay, so now he gets a call on the radio. He calls in Sean's driver's license, and the dispatcher returns to him that Sean's driver's license is suspended or revoked or out of date, whatever. But that's what's been said so far. So Sean went from a calm guy sitting there in his house at his home, and he's sitting there. You see him. Everybody put a 1 in the chat if you can see him. Does everybody put a 1 in the chat? Do you see him? Do you see him sitting there? So now explain to me what has happened that means that he has to go in torture cuffs. What is the step that happened that he had to go in torture cuffs?
Yeah, I'm going to detain you for a minute, okay?
Okay, I'm going to detain you for a minute, okay? That's what he said. So what does detainment mean? We talked about this yesterday. What are the 3 pillars of Terry versus Ohio? Officer safety over your rights. Reasonable articulable suspicion takes the place of probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. And then the third one is the Terry pat down or the detainment. They've kind of merged them together since 1968. Detainment and Terry pat down are now synonymous for meaning the same thing. So what does that mean exactly? So in the name of officer safety, he got a call. He radioed in that your license is suspended. So that makes him reasonably articulately suspicious of you. And then now he's going to detain you. Well, what does detainment mean? Every different police pig shack in the country has different policy around detainment. So is detainment a law? No, it's not. What is detainment? Detainment is a Supreme Court policy that set the policy for police departments. Well, where does the Supreme Court policy of detainment come from? From the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. So he got a call that Sean's license was suspended or not in order. And so now what happens?
Put your phone down.
Put your phone
I'm
down.
going to detain you for a minute. So I get all this figured out.
Okay, I'm going to detain you for a minute, okay? Do you agree to being subjected to torture?
Yeah, you're driving.
He's got the handcuffs out. He's clicking them. Did you hear the click of the handcuffs?
Man, okay. So I get all this figured out. Do what? Yeah, you're driving.
There's the click of the handcuffs.
We're on suspended.
That's why I was wanting to get in my truck. I was paperwork to show you.
Okay.
So because you're driving on a suspended let's say that Sean's license is suspended. He was racing. He was in a street race and they got an accident. And it caused major damage. One of the cars got totaled. Someone broke their leg during the car accident and his license is suspended. Let's say that. So why do you got to go in torture cuffs in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday? Why does he have to go in torture cuffs now? I'm going to detain you, okay? So what does that mean? What does detainment mean? The policy of that pig shack there in Briar, the pig shack there, the policy around detainment is that you go in torture cuffs, that you are completely and utterly debilitated, where you cannot function without someone else zipping down your fly to go pee, without someone else giving you some water to drink. Their policy of detainment means that you go in torture cuffs. And Sean argues with the pig long enough. He argues with this jackboot thug pig long enough that the pig eventually settles for putting them in the front. He didn't want to. He wanted to put them behind his back. So now he has to be detained because his license is suspended.
We'll get to it. Okay?
I mean, is there a reason you're putting me in handcuffs?
I'm going to detain you for a minute until I get it all figured out because you're moving around. You're wanting to go in. You're wanting to get in the truck.
You asked me to sit down. I sat down.
Isn't he at his house? I'm pretty sure he's at his house. So why does he need to be in torture cuffs? You know where the man lives. You're at his home. He cannot get away from you. There is no more escaping if they know where you live and they know where your cars are and they know where your family lives. There's no escaping. He's not getting away. He's not getting away. It's just preposterous.
Well, actually, asked me to out here. There and I hadn't moved since.
Perfect. I'm going to detain you while I look through my computer.
No. He wants to have dominion and control and dominate another person. So where does detainment come from? Terry versus Ohio. There is no such thing as detainment. And no matter what stupid YouTubers make videos, reasonable articulable suspicion is not the standard of freedom. Reasonable articulable suspicion is how the tyranny in our country is afoot, how it's here today, how we're dealing with this jackboot thug pig mentality today. You can be detained. Why? Terry versus Ohio. Well, has there ever been anything before Terry that allowed cops to magically detain you? No, never. Our country was founded and the Constitution ratified in 1793. finalized in 1791, took 2 more years for the states to ratify it. Then we got our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, 1793. We go from 1793 till 1968. There's no need for detainment. There's no need for officer safety clauses. There's no need to lower the Fourth Amendment standard from probable cause supported by oath or affirmation to reasonable articulable suspicion. There was no such thing as you going in torture cuffs before the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio. No warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation that the victim swore out against you. That's all gone now. And in its place, we have this magical detainment process.
Bobby, will you hush, please?
Now, as Sean has admitted to us, his license was suspended at the time due to a clerical error, which he will explain later.
Okay, but and I love Taya. I love this channel. It doesn't matter if your driver's license is suspended or not. A reasonable officer, a reasonable person can say, I'm at this guy's house. You can run off. You could do whatever you want. You could run in the back. You can flee from right here where we are right now. Is he not being shown on body camera? He is, isn't he? Yes. Sean will never get away from whatever charges the police want to charge him with. So then why does he have to be detained? For officer safety. I have a right to torture you so that I can be safe. And how do we change it? How do you change your detainment policy in your town? How do you do that? How do you get rid of this magical detainment bullshit?
But it's worth noting that the moment police arrived, he was not operating the vehicle. Still, police began threatening him with cuffs, arrests, and by cuffing him, characterizing him as dangerous. Just watch.
Let's go over here.
You see the reason why?
There's no reason. He just wants to be in charge of you and dominate you. That's all he wants to do. Everybody hit the like button. Everybody hit the like button. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know how to beat detainment. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know how we can beat detainment. That's exactly correct, Chris Boudreau. The policy can be changed by the governor or the particular chief of police of that department. That's right, Mr. Boudreau.
I'm asking you to move over here.
And I understand that. I'm asking any particular reason why.
I'm going to detain you while I do my paperwork and I figure out what's going on with your license.
So I have to be tortured for you to be able to do paperwork? That's very confusing to me.
And all that.
I'm not going anywhere. You got my vehicles blocked in.
I don't have any vehicles blocked in.
So I'm not going anywhere. You have my vehicles blocked in. This is my home. There's no reason to put me in torture cuffs in my driveway, in front of my neighbors, in front of my wife, in front of my children. There's no reason why I need to go in torture cuffs as though I'm a danger to society, to myself, or to you. So then how come this pig can say, I'm going to detain you while I do my paperwork? So you're just going to put me in torture cuffs even though I'm willing to sit here patiently? And even if I run off, you know where I live? Yes. And who decided that? The policy of that pig shack. The policy of that pig shack. They decided that the cops can just detain you. Who was that legislated by your local legislators, by your state legislators? No, it was not. So who created that? The Supreme Court did with Terry versus Ohio. Detainment comes from Terry versus Ohio. Put it in the chat. Detainment comes from the 1968 case of Terry versus motherfucking Ohio. Do you get it? Do you get why I always say to you, put in the comment section, OTVO? Everything bad happens with Terry. They can walk up to you based on their reasonable suspicion. We saw the video yesterday. Why did you get up when you saw me? So me getting up is suspicious? Yes, according to the pig. Reasonable articulable suspicion is the baseline for tyrannical behavior by the government. Reasonable articulable suspicion is cancer, because the very next step for the cop being reasonably suspicious of you is detainment, which equals what? You go in torture cuffs. You get tortured. That's what happens to you. And who created the policy? The police did.
Well, he's out me right now.
What's going on? I'm going to put them in front of you.
Okay.
Okay? While we look at the stuff. You've been over here. You've been in front of your car trying to open the hood. You're moving all over the place.
Who cares if he's moving all over the place? He's at his home with his wife and his children.
I need to focus on what's going on here.
You need to get a different job. Your training is all wrong. He said, I need to focus on this. You don't need to do shit, you jackboot thug pig. Write your ticket. Do whatever you got to do. Leave me and my family alone. Leave us alone.
To decide whether you stay here or whether you go with me. I've been over here.
Are you listening to this? This guy is his entire crime. His whole crime was that he was driving on a road in a car. And listen to what the jackboot thug pig tells him his options are. Number one, you get tortured in torture cuffs. Number two, I kidnap you.
Here, you've been in front of your car trying to open the hood.
Look, he's got the, look.
While we look at the stuff, you've been over here. You've been in front.
There, he's got the torture cuffs right there. Take a look. He's shining them around. Look, I got the torture cuffs right here.
Your car, trying to open the hood.
He's rattling those torture cuffs around as though he's his daddy.
You're moving all over the place. I need to focus on what's going on here to decide whether you stay here or whether you go with me.
I need to focus on what's going on here to decide whether or not you're going to get to live at your house or I'm going to kidnap you and take you to a dungeon. And this guy is a good guy. This pig, he is not. He's a bastard. He's a demon. The pig is a demon.
If you don't allow me to do that, then we're going to stand here and talk. Okay?
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm kind of opposed to being put in handcuffs like I've done something wrong.
Right. I'm opposed to being put in handcuffs in my own driveway. You know, these are my cars. There's no reason I have to be tortured in torture cuffs. There's no reason you have to paint me out to be a criminal.
You've not done anything wrong. I'm detaining you, keep you over here where I can keep an eye on you.
To keep you over here, I can agree to stand right here. I can agree with you. I'm not going to answer any questions, but if you ask me, am I willing to stay in this little area? Yes, I am. I'm at my own home. I'm willing to stay right here on this bench so that you can feel safe, you fucking pussy.
I'll give you my word. I'll stay right here. But I'm going to be put in handcuffs if at all possible. I'm sure you can understand.
Oh, no, he can't. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He cannot understand because he has never been subjected to being treated in this manner. He's never been put in those torture cuffs tight. He's never been detained where he can't have control of his facilities, can't drink water, can't go pee, can't scratch his nose. He's never been treated that way. And the time they did practice the torture cuffs in academy, it was very controlled and you were going to be let out within moments. And they didn't put them on cop style, how the pigs put them on you. They put them on nice and easy. You put them on proper and it don't cause no pain. Now do it. No. Put a 1 in the chat if torture cuffs are always torture. Put a 1 in the chat if the torture cuffs are always consistently torture.
I can understand to a certain point, but right now you're interfering with my operation.
Oh, he's interfering with his operation and his investigation because he doesn't want to willingly go in torture cuffs.
Because you won't comply with what I'm asking you to do.
Won't comply with being put in torture cuffs in his own driveway when he's agreed to stay in the area.
I'm trying to comply, but I don't feel the need to be put in handcuffs. That's being put under arrest.
No, it's not. It's being detained, and that's what I told you.
Oh, so there it is right there. How'd we get this magical area where they can put you in torture cuffs, put you in the back of a caged car, put you on your belly, stick their knees in your neck? How'd that happen? Is that from the 1968 case of Terry versus Ohio? Yes, it is. And what does Terry say? That cops can detain you. So they created a policy, not a legislated law through our representatives. The Supreme Court, 9 unelected black robe tyrants who have nothing in common with you and I, created a policy that they can detain you. And so what kind of detainment are they using? They're using torture cuffs. Now, every pig shack around the country can create their own set of policies, procedures, and protocols around the torture cuffs. So you can be put in torture cuffs because the cop said, well, I'm detaining you. What? How did, and in the Supreme Court, In Terry versus Ohio, the Supreme Court personnel, the 9 unelected persons, one of them on the KKK, who has nothing in common with you and I, they're going back and forth with the lawyer from the government, Reuben Payne, and they say, so what are we talking about here? And he says it's simple semantic of words is all it is. It's just a word. These are word semantics. Detained, arrested, seized. It's just semantics. Really? This guy doesn't want to go in torture cuffs because it's not semantics. Being put in torture cuffs is always torture. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. It's degrading. It's demeaning. It's everything bad that can happen to you is based on what? Is he putting him in torture cuffs based on qualified immunity? Is he? Does qualified immunity have anything to do with this guy being put in torture cuffs? No. Does detainment have anything to do with torture, with qualified immunity? No. Do torture cuffs have anything to do with qualified immunity? No. Does reasonable articulable suspicion have anything to do with qualified immunity? No. You've been misled and lied to. People on YouTube who ran around with their camera screaming, qualified immunity, were wrong. They're not law scholars. They don't study the law. They don't even love the country. They don't care about our Constitution. They just ran around with a camera screaming, qualified immunity. It is not qualified immunity that's ruining you and me. This guy right here is being put in torture cuffs strictly because of Terry versus Ohio.
Okay. That's detained as an arrest.
No, it's not.
Not according to the Hugo Black, lifetime member of the KKK, who helped form the Terry policies. It's little arrested or big arrested. No. We got to change it from seized to detained because seized is in the Fourth Amendment.
Apprehension is arrest.
Oh, so that's the other thing. The government can't be convicted of cruel and unusual punishment, the Eighth Amendment, unless you've been apprehended. Okay? Apprehended.
Not being able to leave of your own free will.
I can understand to a certain point, but right now you're interfering with my operation.
Interfering with his operation.
Because you won't comply with what I'm asking you to do.
I'm trying to comply, but I don't feel the need to be put in handcuffs. That's being put under arrest.
No, it's not. It's being detained, and that's what I told you.
Okay. That's detained as an arrest.
No, it's not. Apprehension is arrest.
Not being able to leave of your own free will is arrest.
You're being detained until I finish my investigation. That doesn't mean you're under arrest.
Now, one thing you may notice as I did was how polite and compliant Sean was as a
You know, I absolutely love the Real News Network. Taya, I don't know if you'll ever see this or not, but if you do, you have such a gigantic audience. You have way more. It's called a true fan. There's a very popular concept called 1,000 true fans. You guys can look into it. And Taya has far more true fans than I do. I'm a relatively small channel compared to Taya. I wish Taya would cover Terry versus Ohio and Detainment. I wish she would. Taya, I wish she would break down that what we just heard right here, Taya. She kind of changes the subject, but she's a great reporter. She's fantastic. I'm not knocking her in any way. I just wish she would expand her coverage a little bit. Listen.
Because you won't comply with what I'm asking you to do.
I'm trying to comply, but I don't feel the need to be put in handcuffs. That's being put under arrest.
No, it's not. It's being detained, and that's what I told you.
Okay.
So the cop's a total dick.
That's detained as an arrest.
No, it's not.
And where does that come from, that if you're put in torture cuffs and forced against your will to be put in positions, your movement's been arrested, your body's been arrested? Where does that come from that they can magically say that you're not really arrested? From Terry versus Ohio.
Apprehension is arrest.
You have to be literally arrested and taken down to the jail and charged. They can even take you down to the jail, not book you, and say you were only detained.
Not being able to leave of your own free will is arrest.
You're being detained until I finish my investigation.
So that's correct. What this gentleman just said is correct. Not being able to move or your free will being interrupted is arrested. The Supreme Court, using semantics of words, They changed the meaning of seized to detained. You're not seized, you're only detained. Who did that? A racist Supreme Court. A tyrannical Supreme Court ran by the president of the Freemasons for 5 years, a guy named Earl Warren. And I know that Ian Millhiser gives all the deference in the world to Earl Warren. Mr. Millhiser, you and I fundamentally disagree with the person who Earl Warren was. I'm afraid my studies have gone different than yours. Earl Warren was a piece of shit, and so was the Warren Court. They magically changed seized to detained.
That doesn't mean you're under arrest.
Now, one thing you may notice as I did was how polite and compliant Sean was as this officer.
The thing I noticed, Taya, is that the thing that I noticed is that Taya didn't go into the exact thing they just talked about, which you're not being arrested, you're only being detained. You mean if I'm put in handcuffs, then I've been arrested, and the cops arguing the Terry policies created by a racist Supreme Court saying, oh, no, you're not really arrested, you're only detained because you're not apprehended to be charged with crimes and taken down to the jail. So it's semantics of words is what the Supreme Court said. Does it seem like it's semantics to you, or does it seem like this man's life is about to be completely upended with a policy that changes seized magically to detained? And that's what we have to look at.
Officer came onto his property, cuffed him, and wouldn't even let him access his phone. Just watch and think to yourself how calm you would be after 50 minutes of being cuffed and investigated on your own property in front of your neighbors.
And your kids and your wife.
What brought the law if I broke it?
Driving on suspended.
I have paperwork to show otherwise.
Okay, so even let's just say that he doesn't have the paperwork. Let's say that he's driving on a suspended license. Why does he have to be tortured? Why does he have to be detained? If you want to arrest this man, he'll go with you. If you say, okay, you were driving on suspended, you're under arrest, this guy will get in the back of the car with you. He in no way, shape, or form has shown any signs that he's willing to not comply, that he's willing to fight the cop, that he's willing to do anything illegal or flee the scene. He's been polite, cordial, calm, patient. So then why does he have to go in torture cuffs? The policy of that pig shack, based on the policy created by the Supreme Court, empowers them to use a policy, not a law, to torture you. It all comes from Terry. That's what it all comes from. Terry versus Ohio.
Okay, well, it's not showing that in my truck.
I understand that. I have paperwork from the court that shows it.
You have it on your person?
No, sir. It's in my truck.
Was it in the car that you were driving?
No, sir. It's in my truck.
Okay. So no different than you being on the highway. You
Okay,
wouldn't
well,
have
I
it.
mean,
You
it
wouldn't
is-
have it with you.
That may be true. That may be true. It is different because it's here. I'm here. I have it on me.
No, you don't have it on you.
It's on the
Now they're doing a semantic of words. These are word semantics. It's in his truck 25 feet away.
property. I would assume it was in my access.
That's what the problem is. You're assuming.
Okay, well, I know for a fact I have the paperwork. It's 25 feet away from me. I can show you that real quick and clear this all up. I was on my own property when you pulled up behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're wanting to put me in handcuffs.
You were driving down the highway, driving on suspended.
I have the paperwork to show my license is not suspended. It was suspended in error.
Suspended in error.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It being necessary to be put in
I
handcuffs.
asked you, I was going to detain you, and you chose not to.
Why would you choose to be put in torture cuffs when you're at your own home? You're not running. You're not threatening. So unbelievable to me.
So now you're interfering with governmental operations. Now, one of two ways, brother. You can go to jail, or you can be detained for a few minutes. Let me figure it out.
If you need to detain me, that's what you need to do.
Okay. I mean, that's the two options you got.
Okay.
You want to be detained for just a few minutes and come over here and let me deal with this? We can figure it out.
Why do I need to come over there? I'm not trying
So that I can ask you questions at the same time. I can't ask you questions walking up and down the.
Yes, sir. I understand. That's why I
house
sat
and stuff.
down. That way you could ask me questions.
Right. I'm not going to yell from my truck over here because you're sitting at your house. I'm going to detain you and I'm going to put you over here where I can talk to you. Correct.
It's all word salad, all word salad word garbage. And I want to address what someone that Melvin Morris put in the comments over here. This officer is a demon. Mr. Morris, they're all demons, every one of them. Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you allow this pig to do these things under the guise of officer safety, detainment, and reasonable suspicion, if you give those powers to any person, you could fire every pig in the country. If you have the same policies, procedures, and protocols, then you'll get the same outcome, a tyrannical jackboot thug pig. Put that in the comment section, JBTP, jackboot thug pig. What a jackboot thug pig.
Okay.
Now, as you will hear soon,
Can you, I mean, just listen. Just listen real fast. Everybody tune in.
Great. Okay.
Why does the pig need to put him in torture cuffs? Because the pig is a pig, is why.
Now, as you will hear soon, Sean admits that he is far from perfect. In fact, he has had a few run-ins with the law from traffic violations that he
Just so you guys know, we've all had a few run-ins with the law. The idea that you're not perfect, that you've had run-ins, you can't help. The cops are hiding to get you. You're always under attack by the pigs in our country because law enforcement is not rights protecting. Law enforcement is, over the line, get him, instead of protecting and upholding the civil liberties of free people. Instead, they've turned it completely upside down in the name of racism so that they could enforce slavery contracts in 1704 with the South Carolina slave catchers. Sorry if you don't like that. That's the simple fact. The entire idea of John Locke's theory of his social contract. John Locke wrote the social contract. We don't live under John Locke's. We live under Jean-Jacques Rousseau's. However, the social contract that was first established by Hobbes in his book Leviathan in 1580, something like that. In Leviathan, when Hobbes writes the social contract, he writes that the monarch, that the government is the sovereign. John Locke writes that no. The government is not the sovereign, the people are. The will of the people is the sovereignty. And that the only reason we create laws is to uphold your individual liberties. Well, when you start enforcing slavery contracts in 1704, then it gets all turned upside down. We're enforcing laws. We're enforcing these contracts that are tyrannical and go against every theory of natural law that John Locke wrote. That's what we're dealing with today.
again will explain later. And according to Greenbrier Police Dispatch in this video, his last speeding ticket was 2013, but suffice it to say, he is hardly the menace to society that requires a visit from multiple cops who, as you can see, are less than sympathetic. Take a look.
Okay, here. I'm not arguing with you. Here, I'm going to explain your citations to you. Unless you want to go to jail and bond on them.
I don't. But
Okay.
Wow. And did you now? I wish Taya would release all the body cam footage so that we could see all of it, but she doesn't. I don't know what happened. Is he still in torture cuffs? I'm not sure if he is or not.
Okay, here. I'm not arguing with you. Here, I'm going to explain your citations to you. Unless you want to go to jail and bond on them.
I don't. But
Okay,
I don't
then.
want my car towed either. That's
Okay,
still on my property.
I don't want you driving on the.
I'm not going to drive it. I
highway.
have other vehicles I can drive. But I apparently have driving suspended license or something, so I'm not going to drive anyway.
Right.
But
So he's in his own driveway being treated this way.
you're not taking my property from my property. If we were out on the street, you would have the absolute right to tow it.
I still
I've
have
been
the
through
right
this.
to tow it.
Not from private property, sir.
So now he's challenging his authority and telling him that he doesn't have a right to tow his property. Well, that's going to give the cop a great big hard on for being the tyrannical jackboot thug pig that he is. So the 2009 case of Arizona versus Gant, I'm going to get into that in 1 second. I'll pull it up and I'll show you guys what it says.
Okay. You're driving it on city street, which is violation when you're driving on suspended, and I'm taking the vehicle to get no insurance. I just sit there and watch you drive up Wilson Farm You drove all the way around Tyler, come right down through here on Linder, taking the car. Apparently, you don't understand.
I'm taking the car. He just wants to steal the guy's car, and that's exactly what they do.
And what we can see, because you do have a problem with driving on suspended, and you do have a problem with registering your vehicle.
And I do have
because
it
you've
all
been
cleared up.
cited it very
And I do have it all cleared up, and this pig is being a pig.
many times. Okay.
And I've got them all dismissed, as I've shown you.
Okay. I don't know if you got them dismissed or not.
The paperwork right there shows it.
Okay. I got your paperwork.
Okay, I'm sorry, right there.
I'm still showing that you like $100 reinstatement fee.
That was taken out of my taxes, and that one says that the reinstatement fees waived if you look at it.
That's fine. I can't. This is not what I go by, sir. I don't go by your paperwork that you pull out of your truck that's sitting in your yard.
That's paperwork from the court
apologize.
with the seal.
Okay. I don't care what it is.
There it is right there. He doesn't care what it is. He doesn't care. There it is in a nutshell. He doesn't care. He wants to be a tyrannical jackboot thug pig, and if he has the means and the way to do it against you, he simply will.
That's not what I can go by today. Okay. I'm going by my system that I look at, and also our dispatch.
That's not what I'm going by today. Not the court with the seal on the paperwork. Nope. I'm going by the computer so that I can arrest you if I want to.
Looked at it as well to make sure I wasn't missing something.
Now, this is the point where the idea about the underlying imperative of policing comes into play. The point of the story where we have to refer back to the whole idea we raised at the beginning of the show about what drives bad policing. Because cops at this point, along with cuffing and detaining Sean, decide to impound his car.
I mean, and this once again, you know, Taya and the Real News Network is such a gigantic network. I mean, she's huge. I mean, her reporter friend, they're huge. I wish Taya would talk about what detainment actually, where it comes from and what it means. And so listen to what Taya said.
Of the story where we have to refer back to the whole idea we raised at the beginning of the show.
The whole idea raised at the beginning of the show is detainment.
About what drives bad policing.
What drives bad policing is Terry versus Ohio and detainment, reasonable articulable suspicion, and officer safety. That's what drives bad policing. You guys see it on my poster.
Because cops at this point, along with cuffing and detaining.
So how can they cuff and how can they detain when nobody is a danger to them? Through the 1968 holding that creates a policy from the Supreme Court that the police now use as a policy to be able to put you in torture cuffs and detain you. I wish Taya would talk about this with her gigantic, huge platform.
Sean decide to impound his car. That's right. Even though he was upfront about the problems with his registration and had the paperwork to prove it, the police decided to take his property. Now, it's worth noting that this car was pretty much Sean's economic lifeblood and his pride and joy. It was a sentimental possession he had worked tirelessly to perfect. But now, without due process, this property was seized, and as a result, his life was thrown into chaos.
So can we verify that, Greg? Greg said that, excuse me. Greg said that Sean Brezon is in the chat, but can we verify that? Can we verify that it's Sean? Is there a way to, I'm looking through the chat right now. Anybody sees his profile, let me know. I don't see Sean in the chat, but I'll try to find him. If it's him, I'll send him a StreamYard link and we can have a conversation about it. I'm getting a lot of activity, a lot of troll activity going on too. So let's be sure that we know that it's Sean before we just pull somebody up here on stage to talk about it. Can you verify that, Paul?
Let's watch.
803.
I'm fixing to call Chief right now. Hey, Sean, you don't want to give him the key to pull it up there? You recording this too, Lacey? Awesome.
I am.
Because then we'll subpoena your phone and it'll be gone for a while.
I'm so sorry. Did you guys hear this right here? So I want to point this out. So now the wife is outside. She's recording the pigs on her property.
Give him the key to pull it up there. You recording this too, Lacey? Awesome.
He called her by first name. You recording us too, Lacey? So that means that he knows her name. He knows who she is.
I am.
Because then we'll subpoena your phone and it'll be gone for a while.
Threatened to subpoena her phone.
That piece of rock.
But I think understandably, the moment that Sean gets concerned is when the officer insists on IDing his wife or to get herself indoors. Just take a listen.
Do you need to go inside, ma'am? Okay, you got your driver's license with you?
Okay, this is your opportunity. Ready for this? To stick that cop right in his eye. Here it is.
You got your driver's license with you? You want to include yourself in my investigation, so I need your ID you. I need your driver's license.
There it is, right there. Perfect. You say, oh, you need my ID? I'm going to grab it out of my wallet. Is that okay with you? Sure. Reach back here. You pull out your Fifth Amendment cop card, non-driver. It goes right there. It goes right there in your wallet, in the back of your phone or in your wallet. And then the cop says, let me see some ID. And you go, okay, I'm going to give you this card right here. It's number 4 is my ID. Cop demands ID, says he has reasonable articulable suspicion. While filming, you say, I plead the Fifth. I identify as good citizen. No ID is required. There's the law in navy blue. Hibble versus Nevada, 2004. With reasonable articulable suspicion, citizen must state how they ID. Do not give ID without probable cause. This is your Fifth Amendment cop card for the non-driver. You have both the driver and the non-driver in your wallet. They're yellow and black. You only pull them out when you have to deal with a pig. You pull it out and you go, am I driving? I'm not driving, so I'll put this to the side. I'm a non-driver right here. He's demanding my ID. That's going to be number 4. Chille created this specifically for me for this moment. You pull that bad chicken out of your pocket and you say number 4. And you say, I don't have to give ID unless there's probable cause to arrest me. What are you going to do about it, pig? I'm on my property. I can stand anywhere I want all around here. This is not a crime scene. This is my personal property. The Castle Doctrine. This is my house. Pig. You have to have the litter. You got this card in your wallet for this moment. You have the card in your wallet, number 4 on the non-driver card for this exact. I dropped these down to $10. You get driver and non-driver both for $10. I mailed them out today. I mailed off like 80 yesterday. 80 cop cards were mailed off yesterday. 80. Do you know that? 80. And I still have 1,000 more in stock just sitting here. They don't do me any good sitting here. It's $10. It's $10 for the driver and the non-driver. If you can't afford it, just contact me. I'll have you cover the shipping and handling. I don't give a damn. You have to have the card in your pocket. He says he wants his ID. Cool. Here's my card. Present the card and film the pig. And that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Or
Okay, you got your driver's license with you? You got your driver's license with you? You want to include yourself in my investigation, so I need your ID you.
Oh, no.
I need your driver's license.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry, pig. I actually learned on Delete Laws that unless you have probable cause to arrest me for a crime, that I don't have to give you my ID. I'll give you the non-driver cop card. You can go suck an egg, you giant, disgusting pig. I fucking hate them, dude. I fucking hate these pigs. I hate them. I can't. I'm sorry. I do. If this pig right here got hit by a car, thank God we have one less demon on earth. I would feel zero empathy. If this pig got hit by a car tomorrow, I wouldn't feel bad one bit. I'd probably give a slow clap. Let God sort him out, because he's a demon. He came to earth a demon. Let him go to hell. Let him burn in hell.
She just said she didn't want to go inside, so she's involving herself here.
No. She has every right not to go inside.
I'm not arguing. Need your driver's license.
No. You pull out your Fifth Amendment cop card and you say, I'm not giving you my driver's license. I'm giving you this. And it's on film, you dumb pig. Go ahead and arrest me off my own property after I showed you the law. I showed the law on camera, and I state I identify as a good citizen. Now your reasonable articulable suspicion is all wrapped up. Do it. Wrongfully detain me. Wrongfully arrest me. I will sue your ass. I will sue your ass in 2 seconds flat. Get the Fifth Amendment cop card. Get it in your wallet. That's the whole point why I made this. You may only have to pull this out once or twice a year, but for $10, you pull it out and you check that pig. Kim, his family, Kim. Seriously, my language. I'm getting fired up. I got to calm down here.
This is my house.
Understand.
And I wasn't doing anything. You didn't pull me over.
Ma'am, this is my traffic stop. You want to involve yourself with the person that I'm talking to. And I asked you if you need to go in the house, and you said, no, you're going to stay outside. So you're involving yourself in my investigation, so I need to identify you.
That is not true. The only way you give ID is with probable cause. It's on the card.
I'm involving myself in your
Okay, then
investigation.
have your way inside.
You can't tell me I have to go in.
Then ID yourself. One of the two.
No.
One of the two.
This is my house, my property. I can stand on my property.
You're correct.
Okay, that's right. Don't back down 1 foot.
Without you harassing me.
I'm not harassing you. You're
But you
involving
are.
in my traffic stop.
Because
Did you not talk to him? Did you talk to this gentleman right here?
Yes, he asked me for a cigarette.
Why are you answering questions? Plead the Fifth Amendment. It says so on your cop card.
Okay, then. You're involving yourself.
No, she's not. But you don't answer the question. You say, I plead the Fifth Amendment. It's right on your Fifth Amendment cop card. Number 4 on the Fifth Amendment cop card says in the yellow, while filming, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as good citizen. No ID is required. There it is right there. If you got that on camera and that jackboot thug pig detains you, you got him. You can get him demoted. You can get him fired. It goes around the qualified immunity because the Fifth Amendment is clearly established. You don't get to just detain me because I pled the Fifth and I'm not going to answer questions and I'm not going to give ID. You violate your oath to the Constitution, you pig. I hate these guys, man. I really do.
It's my husband. This is my property.
Okay. All you got to do is identify yourself.
But I don't have to. You can't force me to do anything on my property.
Okay,
You did not pull me
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know my job better than me. So you tell me what I need to do.
You need to burn in hell.
I'll step off of my property.
No, 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 no. You stay on your property. You plant your feet and you say, I'm not moving a single inch from right here. You can go yourself and your dog and your mother. You can suck my finger. You can. I'm so pissed off right now. You do not step off your property. That's your property, the castle doctrine. It's your castle. You don't move your feet from anywhere on your property that you want to stand. You can film cops all you want. You can talk to anybody on your property. There's no limit to what you can do on your property. If you step off your property, you lose your property rights. You lose the castle doctrine. Do not exit your own property. Just make sure it's on film for the federal civil rights lawsuit. And don't just let them throw you on your head and kill you. You have to make sure that you keep yourself alive. They'll slam your head into a rock if you let them just pick you up. You may be charged with resisting. Either way, don't get your head slammed into a rock because you just go limp and you think that they're going to have some care for you. They won't. They'll try to hurt you. They'll try to kill you. Everybody has to have the Fifth Amendment cop card in their wallet. You have to have it in your wallet. You got to have it in your wallet so that you know how to do this.
I'm not asking you to go anywhere. Go get Jerry, whoever Jerry is. Then he will be identified.
No, he will not be identified.
Well, if you're going to include yourself in my traffic stop,
I didn't include myself in your.
are you talking to the person I've got in handcuffs?
That is not including yourself in her freedom. You are impeding on her rights, on her castle.
Then you included yourself. I do not know who he is. I do not know your relationship.
Oh, shut up, you lying pig. That's not true either. He's lying right there.
Okay? Do you want to include yourself or do you not?
Officer Woody does know.
That's fine. He did not make the traffic stop. I did. Okay?
Okay, but you
Would you
can't
like to
harass
go-
me on my property?
What am I harassing you about?
Trying to say I have to give you my driver's license. You did not pull me over. I'm not in trouble for anything, so I do not have to give you my license.
You are correct. You're not in trouble for anything just yet. But if you keep interfering with my investigation, you're going to go to jail.
I
No,
didn't interfere with
no,
Okay, then identify yourself or go in the house.
no,
One of the two.
no,
I'm not playing y'all's bullshit game, Sean.
But that's not where this story ends.
no. And Taya, you know,
One of the two.
no. So I got to jump in here real quick. Okay. You either give me your ID or go in the house. Those are not your choices on your property. That's not correct. Your choices are stand your ground, tell that cop to go fly a kite as you film him and tell him, I'll put my feet on any part of my property that I want. I'll stand right next to my husband if I want. I'm not violating any laws. There's no law you're creating that magically makes it where there's certain parts of my property I can't stand. That's just not true. Taya didn't cover it, so I got to jump in and cover it.
I'm not playing y'all's bullshit game, Sean.
What
But
bullshit
that's not where the
games?
story ends. Not hardly. That's because Sean and his wife Lacey worked to get the car back. They learned that there was more behind this police visit than a couple of errant traffic violations. Admissions by authorities involved in the seizure captured on tape that we will be sharing with you shortly. And that speaks volumes about what was going on behind the scenes, which in part led to his car being towed away. But before we get to that, I'm joined by my reporting partner, Stephen Janis, who's been reaching out to police and looking at the evidence. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Stephen, what are police saying about Sean's detainment and the reason police visited his home?
Well, I reached out to them via their Facebook page with some very specific questions. Mostly, why were they able to impound the vehicle that was parked on his own property in his own driveway? I haven't heard back yet, but I'm going to keep working on this because I really want to get answers to this question. It seems to me problematic, especially after I looked at the law, and something that needs to be answered quickly.
So, how are they justifying taking his car, and what does the law actually say about this?
Well, first of all, you can't seize something without illicit contraband in it or being a conveyance of illicit contraband or counterfeit contraband. You can't just seize a vehicle. Now, you can take a vehicle, impound a vehicle when someone's driving it without insurance, but he wasn't driving at the time. It wasn't on the road. So really, this is one of those gray areas that I think is really, really problematic and shows that police have way too much power to take property that doesn't belong to them.
So this is at 15 minutes and 38 seconds. We're going to come right back here real fast. But I want you guys to take a look at the 2009 case of Arizona versus Gant. And this case is a beacon of freedom within the Supreme Court constantly ruling against us to strip away our rights. And so this has to do with searching or impounding vehicles. Facts of the case. Rodney Gant was apprehended by Arizona State Police on an outstanding warrant for driving with a suspended license. After the officers torture cuffed Gant and placed him in the squad car, they went to search his vehicle, discovering a handgun and some chemicals. At trial, Gant asked the judge to suppress the evidence found in his vehicle because the search had been conducted without a warrant in violation of the Fourth Amendment's prohibition against unreasonable searches and seizures. The judge declined Gant's request, stating that the search was a direct result of Gant's lawful arrest and therefore an exception to the general Fourth Amendment warrant requirement. Stating that the search was a direct result of Gant's lawful arrest and there's an exception to the Fourth Amendment. It's called incident to arrest. The court convicted Gant on 2 counts of possession of chemicals. The Arizona Court of Appeals reversed, holding that the search was unconstitutional, and the Arizona Supreme Court agreed. So now you have the Arizona Supreme Court for the state of Arizona saying that's an unconstitutional. The Supreme Court stated that the exception to the Fourth Amendment warrant requirement must be justified by concerns for officer safety or evidence preservation. So the exception to the Fourth Amendment is Terry versus Ohio. I want you to read that and see that. The exception is they created Terry versus Ohio. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's all about Terry. Because Gant left his vehicle voluntarily, the court explained the search was not directly linked to the arrest and therefore violated the Fourth Amendment. In seeking certiorari, Arizona Attorney General Terry Goddard argued that the Arizona Supreme Court's ruling conflicted with the court's precedent, as well as precedent set forth in various federal and state courts. So the Attorney General for Arizona is fighting that Gant can be arrested and his conviction upheld. So the constitutional question is: a search conducted by pigs after torture cuffing the defendant and securing the scene a violation of the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches and seizures? Yes, it is. So is a search conducted by pigs after torture cuffing the defendant and securing the scene, is the search conducted by the pigs a violation of an unreasonable search and seizure? Yes, it's a violation. Under the circumstances of this case, which is very narrowly construed, the Supreme Court held that the police may search the vehicle of its recent occupant after his arrest only if it's reasonable to believe that the arrestee might have access to the vehicle at the time of the search, or that the vehicle contains evidence of the offense of the arrest. With Justice John Paul Stevens writing the majority and joined by Scalia, Souter, Thomas, and Ginsburg, the court reasoned that warrantless searches are per se unreasonable and subject only to a few very narrow exceptions. Here, did you read that? The court reasoned that warrantless searches and seizures are unreasonable and subject to only a few narrow exceptions. That's not true. They could search you anytime they want. They've created the automobile exclusionary rule that goes around your rights. 1925 Carroll versus United States. Mr. Gant was arrested for a suspended license, and the narrow exception did not apply to his case. Excuse me. Justice Scalia wrote separately, concurring. Justice Samuel Alito dissented. So Samuel Alito is the biggest copsucker to ever be on the Supreme Court. Dissented and was joined by John Roberts, also the second biggest copsucker on the Supreme Court, and Kennedy, the third biggest copsucker, and Breyer, the fourth biggest copsucker. 5-4 decision. These four people right here, if any of these had decided that it was a reasonable search, then they could search your car for anything, anytime they want. This creates a very narrow exception. Breyer argued the majority improperly overruled its precedent in New York versus Belton, which held that when a cop has made a lawful arrest, he may, as a contemporaneous incident of the arrest, search the passenger compartment of the automobile. Breyer also wrote in a separate dissenting opinion where he lamented that the court could not create a new governing rule. But that's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do. That's how they do it. That's how they roll. The Supreme Court is our enemy, our absolute enemy. The enemy of freedom, the enemy of justice is the Supreme Court. I want you guys to understand that. I want you guys to get it. How many links does it take to get to the center of a copsy pop? That's hilarious.
Errant traffic violations. Not hardly. That's because Sean and his wife Lacey worked to get the car back. They learned that there was more behind this police visit than a couple of errant traffic violations. Admissions by authorities involved in the seizure captured on tape that we will be sharing with you shortly, and that speaks volumes about what was going on behind the scenes, which in part led to his car being towed away. But before we get to that, I'm joined by my reporting partner, Stephen Janis, who's been reaching out to police and looking at the evidence. Stephen, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Stephen, what are police saying about Sean's detainment and the reason police visited his home?
Well, I reached out to them via their Facebook page with some very specific questions. Mostly, why were they able to impound the vehicle that was parked on his own property in his own driveway? I haven't heard back yet, but I'm going to keep working on this because I really want to get answers to this question. It seems to me problematic, especially after I looked at the law, and something that needs to be answered quickly.
So how are they justifying taking his car, and What does the law actually say about this?
Well, first of all, you can't seize something without illicit contraband in it or being a conveyance of illicit contraband or counterfeit contraband. You can't just seize a vehicle. Now, you can take a vehicle, impound a vehicle when someone's driving it without insurance, but he wasn't driving at the time. It wasn't on the road. So really, this is one of those gray areas that I think is really, really problematic and shows that police have way too much power to take property that doesn't belong to them.
So, Stephen, we have talked a lot about civil aspects.
Is that you, Sean? Let's just pause real quick. We're gonna come back here. So is that the name of your channel, Sean? What's the name of your channel? I'm also gonna send you a link to StreamYard, Sean, so that you can come in and we can talk to you more. Sean Breeze, it's Brez Nahan. Let me see if I can just find his channel real quick, just real fast. We're gonna come right back to Taya. BRE. So sorry, I'm so dumb. BRES Nahan. Let's see if we can get his channel here. I don't see. There's Sean Breeznon. I don't have your channel, Sean. Does anybody got a link here for Sean's channel? Sean, what's the name of your channel? I don't see it. I would like to see all of the. Does anybody have? Where's it at, Mikey? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so that's in the regular YouTube. Let me go to the regular YouTube here real quick. You guys get that Fifth Amendment cop card. It's only $10. So cheap. So cheap. I just want to get it out. I just want it. I want people to get it. I want people to be able to have it. So I saw someone post the link. I'm on the regular chat. I guess I'm on DLZ clips here, but I want to get the original body cam footage is what I want to get. I want to get that original body cam footage. Okay, cool. There it is. Got it. Thank you so much for that. I subscribed to his channel. Now let me share his channel real quick because this is what I was trying to get to. Okay, so you guys can see what I see? Okay, cool. We got his channel. I'm going to drop the link for his channel in the chat. I just subscribed. Everybody can get over here and subscribe. Let me drop the link down to his channel. And is there a way to contact you through this channel? Is there a way I can get Sean? Just put your email address since I know this is your channel. Just drop your email address, and I'm going to everybody subscribe to this guy's channel. It's just horrible what they've done to this guy, and I want to send him a link for StreamYard to see if he wants to come on and have a conversation. Let me see his channel real quick and see if there's any way to contact him. So this is that. Which one of these should I click on here? This one's a month old. It's got the most.
He says he went up there and fixed it. He's got some paperwork. I ain't got to look at it yet, but I'm fixing to look at it and see what's going on. So.
Okay, so he shows. He does not show any traffic.
Okay.
Any recent traffic. The last traffic he shows is in 2013 for speeding. He shows a whole bunch of reinstatement fees completed. Hold on. Okay, so it looks like, well, it says FTA, failure to appear,
Right.
trial, court, suspended 127.23, indefinite, mountain home, $100 reinstatement fee, not completed.
Okay. See, I'm showing that he's been cited all the way up to 6/21. This year he's been cited February, May, and June 21st for driving on suspended.
Or driving on suspended?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd cite him again.
But he says that he's got it fixed. But I don't know.
Nope.
But I don't know what it's suspended for.
Right. Besides FTA.
Right.
That's what it says. FTA trial court, TRIL/CT. I'm assuming that's trial court suspended.
Okay.
minutes out of Mountain Home.
All right, he's supposed to have some paperwork here I'm going to look at. Let me know when you hear something from the hit.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Love
All
you.
right, love you, bye. What you got, Bo?
So the top page is showing the license reinstatement. And then the third page shows where the failure to appear was dismissed.
So he's showing him the license reinstatement and the failure to appear was dismissed.
Started here. Cigarette? Would it be okay if I smoke a cigarette?
No.
What? Would it be okay if I smoked a cigarette and this pig's going to tell you no? Why'd you even ask?
Would it be okay if I smoke a cigarette?
Why do you ask? He's not your daddy. F him.
No.
Fuck him.
Not right now. No, sir. Do you need to go inside, ma'am? Okay, you got your driver's license with you? You got your driver's license with you? You want to include yourself in my investigation, so I need your ID you. I need your driver's license. She just said she didn't want to go inside, so she's involving herself here. Okay. I'm not arguing. Need your driver's license.
This is my house.
I understand.
And I wasn't doing anything. You didn't pull me over.
Ma'am, this is my traffic stop. You want to involve yourself with the person that I'm talking to. And I asked you if you need to go in the house, and you said, no, you're going to stay outside. So you're involving yourself in my investigation, so I need to identify who
I'm
you
not
are.
involving myself in your investigation.
Okay, then have your way inside.
You can't tell me I have to go in.
Then ID yourself. One of the two. One of the two.
This is my house and my property. I can stand on my property.
You're correct.
Without you harassing me.
I'm not harassing you. You're
But
involving
you
in my traffic stop.
Because
Did you not talk to him? Did you talk to this gentleman right here?
Yes, he asked me for a cigarette.
Okay, then. You're involving yourself.
That's my husband. This is my property.
Okay. All you got to do is identify yourself.
But I don't have to. You can't force me to do anything on my property.
Okay,
You
ma'am.
did not pull me
I'm
over.
sorry. I'm sorry. You know my job better than me. So you tell me what I need to do.
She needs to pull out her Fifth Amendment cop card right then and there on the non-driver and put number 4 right in his face that says, I don't have to give you my ID without probable cause. That's why I made this. That's why I dropped it down to $10. Sean, if you're still watching, I'm going to send you and your wife. Both of you guys are going to get a Fifth Amendment set of cop cards. Sean, I'm also going to send you in the mail 2 trifolds, one for you and one for your wife that says I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. So Sean, I need you to reach out to me so I can send you 2 Fifth Amendment cop cards and 2 trifolds. With the broccoli wad rubber band, I'll be including the broccoli wad rubber band in your order, Sean, and it's 100% for free. I'm going to cover this for you, Sean, because I can't stand watching what's happening to you. Every second I watch this, I get more upset and more upset. And she didn't know how to handle this pig. She didn't know that she could have told this pig, I don't got to give you my ID. It's right here on this card. She didn't know. She had no idea. She's just a nice person.
I'll step off of my property.
I'm not asking you to go anywhere.
Jerry.
Go get Jerry, whoever Jerry is. Then he will be identified as well. If you're going to include yourself in my traffic stop,
I didn't include myself in your.
are you talking to the person I've got in handcuffs? Then you included yourself. I do not know who he is.
You're wrong, pig. It's called the castle doctrine. You're dead wrong. He's lying to her.
I do not know your relationship. Okay? Do you want to include yourself or do you not?
Officer Woody does know.
That's fine. He did not make the traffic stop. I did. Okay?
Okay, but you
Would you
can't
like to
harass
go-
me on my property?
What am I harassing you about?
Trying to say I have to give you my driver's license. You did not pull me over. I'm not in trouble for anything, so I do not have to give you my license.
You are
She could kill this cop for touching her unlawfully. She can kill him. I'm not sure what state she's in, but you can literally kill a cop for touching you on your property if it's done unlawfully. That's what the Castle Doctrine says.
correct. You're not in trouble for anything just yet. But if you keep interfering with my investigation, you're going to go to jail.
I didn't interfere
For what?
with anything.
Okay, then identify yourself or go in the house. One of the two. I'm not playing y'all's bullshit game, Sean. There's nobody harassing her. I asked her if she could go in the house. Okay, I'm dealing with you. I do not know who she is. That's why I want to identify her. If she wants to stay out here and talk to you. There's nothing harassing about that.
You're ordering her around when you don't have the authority to order her around at this point because she's not being detained. She's not got anything to do with this.
I can ask her not to be involved in my traffic stop. If she wants to involve herself, then she has to ID herself.
No, that is not true. That is fundamentally a total, complete lie. That is such a lie. That is such a lie. I literally just want to grab him by his face and do one of these and put a fish hook in and rip his cheek off for lying. He's lying. You do not have to give a cop your ID on your property. You're allowed to stand anywhere you want. He's not under arrest. The cop is lying. He's lying. Absolutely lying.
Okay? If she wants to go in the house, she's free to go in the house. Very simple.
No, she doesn't have to ID. She can stand for Sean's wife. What I often do, just so you know, is I walk up and I'll just tap right on the car. I'll take my finger and I'll just tap right on the car. You talking about my car right here, Copper? This is my car right here. I'll just tap on it right here. This is my car. There's a reasonableness standard of why you can be arrested under the Fourth Amendment. You can't arrest me for tapping on public property. I push their limit to see if they'll arrest me for tapping on the hood of the car, or on the windshield of the car, or right on the window of the car. It would be an unreasonable seizure, and I would sue that jackboot thug pig. You can't arrest me because I tapped on your car, especially if I'm on my property and you're involved yourself with my wife. So not only that, she could stand right next to his car door. It's her property. That's the whole point of private property as defined in the social contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, as defined by the social contract, that your property is yours and the government can't come on your property and infringe on your rights. That's the whole essence of the social contract.
The only thing I've got is one that's, I think, old in the car. Because it ain't been drove in months.
What's going on, Ross?
State 11, I have that response when ready.
Temple, go ahead.
Is valid, but are unable to pick up at this time. They will leave it active.
Temple. Okay, they're not going to come get you on the warrant, okay, bub?
Okay.
So at least you don't have to go nowhere.
They're not going to come get you on the warrant. Why would they? Why does he need to go to jail? Isn't it just a ticket for a driving infraction? So why does he need to be arrested?
Clinton.
Out of Clinton PD.
Okay,
So
give them a call.
yeah, they're gonna leave it. They're gonna leave it active. So make sure you call them and get it taken care of. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give them a call
Oh, you're such a nice pig. Thank God for you, pig.
in the morning and see what's going on with that.
Okay. I'm trying to look here and just let you know what it says on here. It says for FTA on speeding and no registration, tags expired. Bond is $690. A lot of that's for the FTA, probably. I don't know. I don't know how they do
Does
that.
that vary from county to county? So it should be under the state thing, wouldn't it?
I have no idea. Those are set by the district courts,
Gotcha.
different ones.
Give me the date of birth one more time. 1978. 1978, 08, 23. 1014. Maybe if you don't mind, I'll pull off my body line.
He's got on the murder gloves. He's got on the black murder gloves so that he can murder Sean if he wants to.
Yes, sir.
For what?
Driving unsuspended, no insurance, no registration.
My car's on private property. You can't tow it.
It wasn't when I seen the violation, sir.
Well, it was when you initiated. If you didn't initiate the stop, I was going to stop. I'm private property. You have no authority to tow my car.
Talk to the judge.
No. They couldn't get power. Hold on a second. Show me the law that says you can tow my car right now.
Okay, here. I'm not arguing with you. Here, I'm going to explain your citations to you. Unless you want to go to jail and bond on them.
I don't, but
Okay,
I don't
then.
want my car towed either. That's still on my property.
I don't want you driving on.
I'm not going to drive it. I
highway.
have other vehicles I can drive, but I apparently have driving suspended license or something, so I'm not going to drive anyway.
Okay.
But you're not taking my property from my property.
Okay.
If we were out on the street, you would have the absolute right to tow it.
I still
I've
have
been
the
through
right
this.
to tow it.
Not from private property, sir.
Okay. You're driving it on city street, which is violation when you're driving on suspended. And I'm taking the vehicle to get no insurance. I just sit there and watch you drive up Wilson Farm. You drove all the way around Tyler. You come right down through here on Linder. I'm taking the car. You have no insurance, no driver's license, and you won't register your vehicle. Okay?
I have no issues with registering my vehicle. I have tags, as you see. I just haven't updated it.
Okay. Apparently, you don't understand what we can see because you do have a problem with driving on suspended, and you do have a problem with registering your vehicle
And I do have it all
because you've
cleared
been
up. I showed
cited
you.
it very many times. Okay.
And I've gotten them all dismissed, as I've shown you.
Okay. I don't know if you got them dismissed or not.
The paperwork right there shows it.
I got your paperwork.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, right there.
I'm still showing that you like $100 reinstatement fee.
That was taken out of my taxes, and that one says that the
Okay.
reinstatement fee's waived if you look at it.
That's fine. I can't. This is not what I go by, sir. I don't.
He doesn't go by court paperwork. He goes by whatever the radio says. What a pig.
Don't go by your paperwork that you pull out of your truck that's sitting in your yard.
That's paperwork from the
apologize.
court with the seal.
Okay. I don't care what it is. That's not what I can go by today. Okay. I'm going by my system that I look at, and also our dispatcher looked at it as well to make sure I wasn't missing something. I double checked it. It's still suspended. You still owe $100 to Mountain Home. You need to get that cleared up with them. Until then, your driver's license will be suspended. Okay. You were decided about a week and a half ago for it. Did you argue with them as well?
Yes, sir, I did.
I'm
Same
glad I
question.
ain't the only damn one.
Well,
all
I
I
mean,
can do.
when I'm being accused of something that I've already taken care of,
I can't help it. I didn't suspend your driver's license.
You're right. I
Okay?
understand that. And
All I can do is do my job. Okay? I do my job with my tools.
What is the pig's job? A pig's job is to uphold our civil liberties. The reason laws are created, as written by John Locke, the founder of natural law, the reason why laws are created is to ensure the liberty of individuals in that society. We create laws. The idea of creating a law is so that your personal liberty will not be violated by another person. We create a speed law at the street. You can only go 35 miles an hour on that street. If you go barreling through there at 90 miles an hour, you may hit someone's mother or father or child or son or daughter. So we created a law to protect the individual liberty. Your right to life is protected by creating a 35 mile an hour speed limit. That's why there's a speed limit, so that you don't run someone's mother over or someone's daughter over. That's why we have speed limits. The reason why laws are created is to uphold your civil liberties. And what does he say right here? Let's listen.
Help it. I didn't suspend your driver's license.
you're right. I
Okay?
understand that. And
All I can do is do my job.
Which is what?
Okay?
His job is to uphold your individual liberties. If there's a court document that has a court seal on it that says, my license is not suspended, I don't have a warrant, it's his job to do everything he can to uphold the individual liberties of Sean.
I do my job with my tools. Okay? I don't have any
He believes his job is law enforcing.
choice. That's what I'm provided.
No, that's not true.
And you're more than welcome to bring this to court on the court date. And if they decide that it's not suspended, I'm more than happy for them to take care of it or do whatever they can do for you and help you. I don't have a problem with that. But today it tells me it's suspended.
okay, well, if it's not suspended,
Okay.
who's going to pay for my car being impounded when it's already on
Nobody.
private property?
Nobody. You
So-
will.
so
Because you
I-
have no insurance and you won't register the vehicle. Driving on suspended is not the only problem. You got 3 problems. And you won't learn your lesson because you've been cited a number of times.
Has nothing to do with learning a lesson, sir.
Did you hear him laugh? You won't learn your lesson? You mean the state hasn't created a cascade waterfall effect where he gets charged with this and then he has to jump through this hoop and then he has to jump with that hoop and then he has to go through this hoop? They create a pyramid scheme where you can never get out of debt of the state. You can't drive your car, so that means you can't drive to work. If you drive to work anyway, then you get another ticket for driving without a license. They impound your car, you got to pay a bounty to get your car back. I just, it's so preposterous to me what this pig is saying. And listen to him laugh.
Because you've been cited a number of times.
Has nothing to do with learning a lesson, sir. I wasn't driving that car.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
got him
But you're
dismissed,
still driving on suspended.
which has been dismissed numerous times.
Which has been dismissed. It's on the paperwork.
Then shouldn't be a problem for you to get it dismissed again.
You're correct.
Sound good? Where do you want me to put this?
Give to my wife for this?
No. I'll let you hold it because I don't know that this is your wife.
What a freaking moron.
Shouldn't be a problem for you to get it dismissed again.
Watch this pig.
Sound good? Where do you want me to put this?
Give to my wife for this?
Give it to my wife, I guess. So he's got the paperwork on his clipboard and he says, just give it to my wife. And look at the misogynist piece of shit this pig is.
No.
Oh, Sean, I see what you're dealing with. I see exactly what you're dealing with.
I'll let you hold it because I don't know that this is your wife.
What an asshole. What a gigantic asshole.
You want to identify yourself.
I can guarantee it's my wife, and Officer Woody can get you as well.
Okay. Well, I'm not Officer Woody.
I understand, but he is your colleague.
That's fine. It does not matter. I made the stop. I'm trying to cooperate with you guys, but nobody wants to cooperate. You started.
Well, Sean, Sean, why don't you come on, dude? I can't send you a StreamYard link, but I'm not sure if you've ever seen my channel before or not. We raise money for lots of people. The 300 people in this room right here, most of these people pull out their wallet. And when I do fundraisers, most of these people donate 2 or 3 times per fundraiser. We'd love to hear from you if you want to jump on. And it's not contingent on us doing a fundraiser for you or not, but I do fundraisers every single month in and month out. I do fundraisers for people. If you can get your car back, Christmas time fundraisers are pretty tough, but I can jump on the phone with the guy who has your car. And once I give my word, that's it. I won't break it. If I have to pay the money myself, I will. But we'd love to hear from you, Sean. I don't have your email, so I can't send you a StreamYard link. Maybe you don't want to jump on for your own reasons. That's fine, dude. But I'd love to help you get your car back. I mean, Dave right there is saying he's got there's guys like Dave, and there's another 30 names I can name in this chat right now who put in $100 bills, $20 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills, sometimes put in, there's a guy in the crowd right now who put in $800 on a fundraiser I did about 4 months ago. So if you want to get your car back, Daryl will donate. This room, Team DLZ. I can't. You got to shoot me an email, Sean. I don't have your email address. So they steal his car. We're gonna get into that in a second. I'm gonna try to get Sean on. Let's see what happens.
Arguing as soon as you got out of the car. Okay. Do you want to go over this? Do you want me to go over it, or you just want to have it?
We can go over it.
Okay.
Well,
so I cited you for owner failed to register.
Paul, he's saying that we can still get the car back. And I know that there are people in this room who will donate money. He can go in a little bit. He'll donate a little bit. Steve will donate a little bit. Everybody will. There's so many people here who will jump in and will donate a little bit, and let's get your car back for you, bro. I mean, that's the most important part.
Your vehicle for your tags, you're driving on suspended, and no liability insurance. Okay. Court date is August 9th, 1:30 p.m. if you choose to come to that. Okay. If you have any questions about the citation, numbers on the back, contact them anytime. Then they'll be able to answer any questions you have. If you want to take that paperwork to them, they'll be the people to show that to. They can look up that kind of stuff. I can't. Okay. They've got other means of looking up whether your suspension's been released or not. I can't see that. Okay. So you can take that to City Hall, or you can call them and ask them if you can bring it up there. All right. And they'll let the ladies look at it. And I'll work with you, man. Even as argumentative as you've been, if it's fixed, it's fixed. We'll make it right. Okay? All right.
Go ahead.
I guess that's fair.
Okay. Any other questions?
He's. I can just listen to this.
I'll work with you, man.
I'll work with you, man. Remember those words. I'll work with you, man.
Even as argumentative as you've been.
Even as argumentative as you've been. You didn't want to go in torture cuffs, and you fought for not going in torture cuffs.
If it's fixed, it's fixed. We'll make it right. Okay?
All right.
Go ahead.
I guess that's fair.
Okay. Any other questions?
I guess that's fair. Sean, you're getting railroaded. He was in torture cuffs. The guy's threatening his wife. I mean,
in the back seat. Be out with Wisconsin 2204 Edward 22. William Henry 2204 Edward.
Said get a hold of Clinton. Make sure that you don't
feel fear Franklin T. Brewer.
Get picked up on that deal somewhere.
Yeah, I'll give them a call tomorrow. Find out what's going on with that.
There ain't no reason to get in trouble somewhere, so you can call them and maybe get on a payment plan or something.
It shouldn't be anything at all. I didn't even know it existed. So
right, well, I don't know either.
Oh my God.
Okay, here's your citation, and we're going to stand by and inventory the vehicle waiting on the tow truck. Okay.
Not detaining me, right?
You're not detaining me.
Okay. The only reason you can search my vehicle is to inventory.
inventory to.
Just if y'all were taking possession of it. The tow company is supposedly taking possession of it, and it's on my private property.
Yeah.
I don't authorize y'all to search my vehicle.
You don't have to.
Search my property.
You don't have to.
Actually, you do have to have my consent to search.
No, I don't. I'm
Yes,
towing
you
the
do.
vehicle and I have to inventory it. Okay.
Well, you're telling me
You're not telling me. You're not telling me how to do my job, Sean.
So,
Either shut up or go in the house or go to jail.
excuse me, sir.
Okay. You've got a couple options. You can go in the house. You can go to jail. You've been here.
50 minutes and 24 seconds in the 1976 case of South Dakota versus Opperman. South Dakota versus Opperman in 1976. Let me show you exactly what that case says. Facts of the case. The respondent, Donald Opperman, left his car unattended in a prohibited space in violation of the ordinances in South Dakota. He received 2 parking tickets from local pigs, and as a result, his vehicle was subsequently inspected and impounded. At the impound lot, a police officer observed personal items in the dashboard of the car and unlocked the door to inventory the items using standard procedures. In the unlocked glove compartment, officers found a chemical in a plastic bag. Opperman was arrested later that day and charged with possession of the chemical. He was convicted, but the Supreme Court of South Dakota reversed on appeal and concluded the search was in violation of the Fourth Amendment. The constitutional question: does the Fourth Amendment's warrant, so you have to have a warrant upon probable cause, does the warrant clause prohibit police from inventorying a vehicle that is lawfully impounded for traffic violations without first obtaining a search warrant? Who did it? The conservatives. The 4 conservatives over here, they did it, along with Stevens, who joined them in a 5-4 decision. Do you have to have a warrant to inventory someone's car? No, you don't. Chief Justice Earl Warren Burger delivered the opinion for a 6-3 majority. It was 5-4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and the 4 dissenters are right there. In a 6-3 majority, the court held that police can inventory a vehicle that's been lawfully impounded even without a warrant. Inventory procedures for impounded vehicles are taken in order to protect the owner's property and to protect police from claims of stolen items as well as potential danger. Terry versus Ohio. Your car can be searched for officer safety. Therefore, the search of an impounded vehicle is considered reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. Since when? Since when? How is you searching my car because I got a parking ticket? How is that a reasonable search under the Fourth Amendment? It's the unelected Supreme Court, the black robe tyrants. You didn't vote for these 4 conservatives. You didn't vote for Rehnquist or Berger or Powell or Blackman. You didn't vote for any of them. Their cars are never searched, ever. Therefore, it's considered reasonable under the Fourth Amendment. Justice Powell Jr. wrote a concurring opinion agreeing that the Constitution allows for inventory searches as long as the search not done in order to find evidence that could lead to criminal charges. Well, I mean, shiver me timbers, blow me down. If you inventory my car, you're searching my car for chemicals or for a reason why you can arrest me. It's constitutional to inventory a search as long as you're not doing it to find evidence. How fucking stupid. How retarded. What a load of shit. Justice Thurgood Marshall, with whom Justice William Brennan and Potter Stewart wrote a dissent arguing that the search of an automobile without a warrant clearly violates the Fourth Amendment. A routine inventory is no excuse to violate the privacy of the automobile's owner. South Dakota versus Opperman is an extension of Terry versus Ohio.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Actually, you do have to have my consent to search.
No, I don't.
South Dakota versus Opperman. He's not searching, he's inventorying.
Towing the vehicle and I have to inventory it. Okay.
Well,
And he even used the proper words.
You're not telling me how to do my job, Sean.
So,
Either shut up or go in the house or go to jail.
No. Someone needs to tell you how to do your job, you pig.
excuse me, sir.
Okay, you've got a couple options. You can go in the house or you can go to jail.
That's not true. You don't have to go in the house.
You've been interfering with me the whole time I've been here.
You've been interfering with me? Pretty much you've done whatever you want, pig.
And I have not arrested you yet for interfering with governmental operations.
I have not
But you're
arrested
really
you
close.
yet.
Can you stand here and keep your mouth shut and let me do my job? Stop interfering with me. I'm asking you this last time.
I'll step over here.
I'm asking you this last time.
I apologize. I'll step over here.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is your name and badge on that ticket? Because I would like it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll provide mine. 811 PD.
811, go ahead.
License plate check, please.
Can I ask why you're looking at my vehicle?
Go ahead, sir.
043 Zebra North Zebra. 043 Zebra North Zebra.
Zero 43 Zebra North Zebra returns to a 2004 Jeep, white in color, should expire October 2023 to a Lacey for Shannon out of Greenbrier Church.
10-4, when you're not busy, can you Q&F the RO, please?
10-4.
You need my card?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll swap with you.
I'll swap with you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll swap with you.
So he still wants her ID. She should have given him the Fifth Amendment cop card.
That's what I figured. You just want to be hard to deal with.
You're just a piece of shit.
No, you didn't have a reason to run my car. I did nothing wrong. You don't have me on a traffic stop.
You are correct. But you can go to jail for interfering with my investigation.
I'm not
What a pig. This guy's such a pig.
interfering with anything. I'm asking
You
why
have.
you're running my vehicle.
Yeah, because you want to identify yourself.
I don't
You keep
have to.
asking to get involved in my investigation, and he keeps asking for you to get involved in my investigation, but you won't ID yourself.
I don't have to. I'm not in trouble. You're not detained.
Okay. You're right. I forgot. You know the law. You're a law
I
enforcement.
do know.
No. There's no such thing as law enforcement. They all sign a peace officer certificate and magically become a law enforcer after they graduate from peace officer school so they can be an enforcer because they're beta males. I'm just going to detain you while I do my paperwork. Who the fuck are you, bro?
I forgot. Is your name Steve? You get the VIN covered.
103 PD.
Hey, we've had an interesting one, so I'm going to have to escort you to the office to look in this vehicle. He's been very cantankerous and
Cantankerous?
says that I need to know it, but, you know,
103, go ahead.
and it's this Mustang
Are you able to
in
give
the
a
back,
return on the vehicle?
driving on suspended.
I'm
He
sorry,
ran
I've
down
lost
to
the
his house,
tag
so-
number. Can you give it to me one more time?
Yeah, we're going to get it. I'm going to stay here till we do get it. Yes, we're towing it, but I got inventory. I haven't even let me inventory or nothing, so it's easier just for me to escort you to the. I don't know just yet. Hopefully they'll cooperate enough to give us some keys. But, all right, let me see what we can do. Hey, Sean, have you got the keys to the Mustang?
I have
Okay,
not
do you
got
want us to
anything
use the
back on
keys to
yet.
put it on there, or do you want him to just pull it up on
I
there?
don't put on there at all.
That was
Okay, I
William
understand that,
Henry
but we're past that point. It
2204
is going to be put on there.
Edward,
I'm just trying not to get it torn up, okay?
I still don't
no
understand what
need,
statute or
man.
law
You're good.
says you can take my vehicle.
Okay, I'm not arguing with that.
I'm
Right now.
not trying to argue. I'm asking for verification. You have to
Do you want us to give us the keys, or do you not?
I don't want to give you all my keys now.
Okay, that's fine. Then we'll get out of the way and we'll let him jerk it up.
The guy's such a dick. This pig is such a dick.
And here in just a minute, just make sure they don't get back in the car.
What a pig this guy is. Again, he's still got the murder gloves on so that he can murder Sean if he gets a chance.
Hey, 11, go ahead.
JT's on scene.
Look at that cop car. Look at that cop car. Look at the amount of money spent on the paint job for that cop car, the wrap for that cop car. We don't want that. We want a bright yellow and white peace officer's car. Put a 1 in the chat if you don't want any money spent on a pig's car. 0.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, look at this asshole cop, what he's doing to these people. And there's no reason to impound his car. It's on his property. There's no reason to do any of this.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. What's the description? Yeah.
So Sean's up there arguing with the tow truck driver saying he doesn't consent to this.
Oh, I kind of got stuck back here myself. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of got stuck back here myself.
Just having a good time ripping someone else off, you pig.
Hey, buddy, I'm very busy. What you got? Oh, I seen a gentleman at Gulf.
103 status.
His tags was expired or whatever. And anyway, I looped around and I caught him over here on Linder.
I caught him? You didn't catch him doing anything. He was just driving a car. And you've created, the governments create criminality around driving a car.
Well,
if you're not doing anything wrong and you're not hurting anybody else, you shouldn't be in trouble at all for anything ever.
Trying to catch up to him, he pulled into his driveway. Well, ended up, he's driving on suspended.
But he's not. He showed you the paperwork. His license was not suspended.
And also, no insurance, no tags, owner failed to register. And he's been argumentative the whole time. Wind up.
So he's argumentative, and so you're going to steal his property, you pig.
I want to detain him. He had a warrant out of Clinton PD, but they won't pick him up. So anyway, he says because he's in his driveway that I can't take his car. I said, I witnessed the violation on the city street, and you don't have any insurance, driving on suspended, and you don't have any tags. You won't register the vehicle. I said, I'm towing it. Well, he won't give us the keys or nothing to inventory the vehicle. So I'm gonna have to follow the tow truck up to the station so I can look at the vehicle and inventory it. So, but she's mad because she pulled up while I was on the stop. She pulls up, she goes to talking to him, and I said, ma'am, I said, either go in the house or identify yourself. Well, she says that she don't have to identify herself, and I've refrained from putting her in handcuffs for obstruction, but I'm trying to make my way out of here as peaceful as possible, but they ain't making it very easy. Yeah, they're hooking the car up right now. They're having to drag it up on there. They won't give us the keys to load it. So
Yeah, he doesn't want to comply to you stealing his car, you pig. What? Hold on a second. Is that Sean's wife? Let me bring on. Sean, is that your wife I'm seeing right there?
Yes, sir.
Let me just watch a couple more minutes of this real quick. I'll come right back to you.
he said driving on suspended. Right.
He's having a problem finding what Gene say.
He said driving on suspended. He said, okay, bub. So
No, it's just a low. I think
right.
he's having a problem finding what Gene say.
He said driving on suspended. He said, okay, bub. So, yep.
What a piece of shit this pig is.
So he's got multiple charges of it. So,
oh, what a pig.
it's part of it. My camera's on too. It's been on the whole time. So,
yeah, we hear you laughing and joking about stealing someone else's property. Pictures of the guy's wife on your phone saying, I'm not going to give her the paperwork. I don't know if that's your wife or not. You're such a piece of shit, dude.
I mean, I can ask him again.
I mean,
I know it would be
I got to
easier.
get it up there. If I don't.
I know.
I mean, I don't care.
I'll ask him again, but he's gonna want us to wait on supervisor.
And this guy right here, he's no better. He's a part of it. He's in on it with them. We saw that in Ironton, Ohio. The brother-in-law of one of the pigs ended up getting a contract and getting 4 new tow trucks within a year of getting the contract from the Ironton PD.
No, I mean, I can ask him again.
I know it would be easier. Get it up there. If I don't.
I know.
I mean, I don't care.
I'll ask him again, but he's gonna want us to wait on supervisor, which Stephen Thorpe. He's our sergeant, so he just showed up. Hey, Sean. Hey, Sean. You don't want to give him the key to pull it up there? Do I, bub? He said no. You recording this too, Lacey? Awesome.
I am.
Because then we'll subpoena your phone and it'll be gone for a while.
What a lying piece of shit. Subpoena her phone for what? She's not filming anything that you could take her phone from her. He's just a lying pig.
That way we can get your recording too. Make sure it matches with ours. So we can subpoena it and we'll send it off and get it done.
He's just been lying to her the whole time, and she's got this blank look on her face because she doesn't know. See, she doesn't know. You have a First Amendment right to film him, Lacey. You don't ever have to give up your phone. He intimidated her into not filming the theft of the car.
What do you need, bub?
Oh, no, I'm done now.
Oh, I got you. I was gonna say I help you if I can.
I'll help you if I can. I'm just ripping this guy off and cheating his family.
I got you. Oh yeah, good right now.
Just making me sick to my stomach. Okay, so let's bring Sean on. Sean, how you doing, buddy?
Oh man, I'm doing all right. It's good as can be expected anyway.
So tell me what happens here. They're inventorying your car using South Dakota versus Opperman for officer safety. And then, so did you ever find out the law in Arkansas as if they can impound your car?
They tried to use some statute about if I don't have proof of insurance, then they can impound the car.
Right. Okay. So they used an ordinance code or statute that would make it legal for them to steal your car. So what happens? They impound your car, and they give you. Do you get arrested?
No.
Okay. So they did leave you there. So I'm not missing anything in the end. And so then, when they impound your car,
Actually,
they give you.
You might want to watch the end. It's kind of funny when he leaves the property and tries to come back. When my wife says he's a bad officer or the reason people don't like cops, his attitude changes real quick. Then
Okay. One. Probably go to your office. Be fine.
Okay.
I just got to escort you. So
Yeah, I'll just shake it off. And you do what you have to.
yeah, that'll be fine. If you'll pull out and
I'm going to help you steal this guy's car.
hang tight on the road, make sure I don't need to deal with anything else here.
Okay.
And then
I don't have to deal with anything else here. Pretty much you have just came in and ruined everybody there. You've lied to those people. You misled them. You chilled her First Amendment right. She should be able to file a lawsuit for the lies you told.
follow you up there.
Okay. Well, I left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just back in, turn around in the driveway.
Okay.
Hey, Sergeant, I've got to go finish this investigation by inventorying this vehicle. So I've got to escort him to his place.
Oh, he has to finish this by making sure the car gets stolen all the way.
So I'm done with them.
I'm done with them? Fuck you, bro. And the horse you rode in on. You're not done by a damn sight. You know what? I'm not a violent man, but I hope you get yours.
Done with me here. Okay. Thanks, Tim. I already talked to him, just so you know.
You see that? You see what a cool family they have? They got the mailbox here decorated. I mean, that looks cool. They took the time to put a little work into their property.
You have something to say? Did you have something to say to me?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot to say to you.
I said you are the reason people fear the police. You're not a very good officer. Your thing here is done. You do not have a reason to be on my property. You can leave.
Bam.
You were saying something to me.
I was saying you're a pig, and I hope you burn in hell.
Are you done talking?
I am talking out loud to this officer right here.
Okay, thank you.
God, please, dear God in heaven, allow me to run into this guy. Dear God in heaven, face my wrath, face my words. I destroy you, pigs. Destroy you. I destroy pigs for fun. They're so stupid. So this guy JT Recovery Towing, I guess you got a little story behind him, huh, Sean?
Yeah. I've actually done quite a bit of business with them over the course of times. They've towed that car for me numerous times when it's broke down from broken parts or whatever else. They even came and got me at 3:30 in the morning one time. Thought I had a great business relationship with them. Found out that wasn't the case.
They work for the pigs.
Facts.
So walk me through this here. They steal your car for you not having insurance on the car. You were just driving it to test it. You had been working on it.
I had just got it running the night before. It had been down for some maintenance. I built this car to race. I competed in no prep race events out in Oklahoma, all over the place. And I'd beat on the car pretty hard the year before, so I put it down for maintenance and needed to make some repairs. They had some issues with the wiring harness that I had to fix. And then it ended up time passing, 8 months went by, a lot of absolute craziness in my life went by, and that is what it is. That was mine to deal with. I've had plenty of people sit there.
Everybody has it, dude. The idea that other people don't have drama in their life, or that things aren't intense in other people's lives, that they don't have a battle with their brother or their sister or their cousin, that they don't have some sort of legal issue they have to deal with because the pigs attack us constantly. So the idea that you are worse than other people is so false. You've been through the ringer.
I believe everybody's got just shit that nobody can imagine going on in their lives.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
I've got myself stuck into that thought that nobody knows what it's like, blah, 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 blah. But there is people out there that do.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of shit all at one time. That is what it is. That's life.
Right.
But so with the tow truck company, I was on the phone with them within minutes of them taking the car down there. Now keep in mind, this is July 3rd. And it's 7 o'clock at night.
Of 2023. So this is just 3 months ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Or it's December, so I guess it's 6 months ago, 5 months ago.
Something like that. It's 5-6 months. Okay. This has been. I've been sick to my stomach most of the time because of this, just because of what I had in that car, what I've been with it, just the whole 9 yards. Anyway, I get a hold of the tow truck driver. I can't get a hold of the owner, obviously. That's next to impossible, as I've proven. The tow truck driver says it's going to be $275 to get the car back. I said, man, I ain't got it. And tomorrow's 4th of July. There ain't nowhere I can get it. I just spent the last bit of my money taking care of getting bills paid and all that crap at the house, making sure, lights stayed on, water stayed on, that stuff. That way families took care of. I've been stretched thin running back and forth between there and up in North Arkansas, where I'm actually at now, taking care of my family's estate. I'm the last remaining member of my family left.
Interesting.
They've all passed away in the last few years. And
sorry,
I got left with a absolute mess up here to take care of and fix. And I've been stretched thin doing that and trying to take care of my kid and all the other fun shit. So I said, man, as well as I do, y'all should have never took that car. He goes, I have to do what the cops tell me, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, you don't. You have to make sure you keep your contract. That's why you do what the cops tell you. They don't employ you. Y'all contract with them. There's a difference.
Right.
But you don't want your boss man pissed off at you. And I get that. You're a peon. I mean, I need to talk to whoever can make the decisions.
We're all peons.
Myself,
every one
still
of us.
Am. Yeah, but I know how some of these boss men can be. They think they're above their customers, above everybody else, and he looked flat out looks down on me. And I've never even met the damn man. I've got audio recordings where my wife went in there and talked to the manager or the supervisor, which is Chris, the guy you saw in the video, get in my car, and JT, the owner as well. Finally, once the bill in the car was over $1,800, and at which point he stood there and said, "Oh well, the only reason they took his car is because he was being a smart ass asshole." I thought I did pretty well at not being a smart ass because I have a pretty good ability at talking shit if I want to. I decided it wasn't the time or the place. I was preparing for later on when I went to court. I wanted to present the best possible thing I could on my end. Anyway, so he tells us he's not really he would never work deals out with nobody. And I tried to offer, I'll give you some collateral or whatever. That way you can get paid, because this is going through court. I'm taking it to court. I told him this since day one. And I've tried like hell getting an attorney to even take this, and I get told the same stupid shit every time. Either they're too busy, it's not big enough, it's too complicated, blah, 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 blah. So I took it on myself. I said the hell with it. And I mean, I'm a fairly intelligent person. I can figure my way through a lot of stuff. The problem is time. I can't figure my way out through it fast enough. I went right up to the deadline, and I filed a complaint. I filed complaints with everybody up to the FBI, the DOJ, the governor's office, the attorney general's office. We filed complaints with the police department that were ultimately ignored. When I called for a supervisor to come, his wife was the one that answered the cop's wife was the one that answered the phone, and me on hold and called him. I've got the call recordings from the police department.
Send that over to me. Let's take a listen to it. Send it over to me.
I'll send you everything I got.
I definitely want. Make sure in Arkansas. Make sure in Arkansas that it's
only one party has to know that they're being recorded.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because otherwise we're both breaking the law.
Yeah, I study. I make sure I'm within the law on stuff. I may skirt it sometimes, but I never break it.
Yeah, listen, I understand. I'm autodidactic. I'm a constitutional law scholar, and I learned everything on my own. I studied communications and journalism in college, and then years later, when I was no-knock rated twice, I started studying constitutional law. And when I go into rooms with people and we start to talk out loud, pretty soon people start to realize, boy, you can learn a lot if you just study hard. Yes, So what did you do? You filed a complaint with the coppers, who only the coppers hear that and they deny it.
Yeah, they dismissed it immediately. The chief said that he watched the dash cam footage, which I can't find, or I can't get. I've requested it, and they just ignored it like it didn't exist. I requested his personal phone records, since he has my wife's picture on there. I requested the additional body cam footage that he's about to mention here in a second that never got brought through. Right. Because he said that according to the incident report, this wasn't over until like 8:20. So that leaves about a 40 to 45 minute gap that's just unaccounted for on video. And that starts right here at the end of this video, where he says, I'm going to turn the video off until they get it unloaded, and then I'm going to do the inventory, blah, 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 blah. At that point, it wasn't inventory. He was searching for something to hang me on. I know what he was doing. Been down this road before.
How do you like that? Sorry for interrupting, but how do you like that South Dakota versus Opperman case, where the cops can inventory your car for officer safety and to secure your personal property, but they're not searching? That's what it says. Yeah.
So I don't understand how you can do one without the other. I mean, how do you inventory something without searching it? And if you inventory something, shouldn't there be a manifest or something that shows what you inventoried?
And shouldn't there be a third party there filming what they're doing so that they can't accidentally inventory this into your car?
Right.
We were inventorying it, and look what we found. We found this in their car.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
you're lucky. You're lucky.
So far,
you're lucky he didn't plant something in your car.
Well, so they have been literally, anytime that I've come into town, because I've been staying out of town for the most part of this, because keeping them away from my wife and kid. Anytime I come to town, they are staking out my street and every road that leads in. They are driving by my house multiple times and slowing down and staring and just trying to intimidate. And I'll go out there and wave and smile at them.
You have a camera? You have a dash cam?
I do.
Okay. And your license is not suspended?
It is not. Well, it is out of a different county that I didn't know anything about. And it's the county that he was just recently not reelected as sheriff.
Oh, that was the sheriff on the scene? That guy was the sheriff?
Emberton, yeah. He was the former sheriff of the county next to me.
Oh, it all makes sense now. He's in charge. Hey, I pulled you over. I'm just going to detain you real quick while I do my paperwork. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about you being tortured so he can just do his paperwork?
I was caught off guard, actually, when he said that. And that's what, if you look at, it took me a second to realize exactly what was going on and get back into the the argument, fight, whatever you want to call it. I've been in my fair share of trouble over the course of time, and never had anything like that before, especially not at my house.
Taya kind of covered some information here. I watched her whole video. Taya at Real News Network, great job.
She did fantastic. It was a pleasure speaking with her.
Yeah, she's a great person. So now what Taya had said was that you were going to be detained for not having a license, but then you had a piece of paper with the court seal on it that corrected that error. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I still have the piece of paper with the judge's signature on it. Okay, so you did have a piece of paper with the seal from the court on there that your license was not suspended. Correct. So my license had been suspended in error due to a failure to appear. But here's the kicker. The clerk failed to notify me of the new court date. I was in Baxter County on November 2nd for the trial on a careless driving ticket that was about as bogus as they come. And people are going to jump on this and try and say, oh, he's got a track record, blah, 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 blah. No, I have a fast car. Right. And it is fast. There's no question about that. I built it to be fast. It sounds fast. It looks fast. It is fast. That's the big and little of it. I don't have to prove it's fast. I don't need to. It's that simple. But I pulled out of a gas station one night. My buddy had asked me to come to go grab a pizza for him and bring it to him out of his hotel because he'd been drinking. I hadn't, so I figured you stay at the hotel. I'll bring it out to you. I'll be there, 20, 30 minutes or whatever. Well, I stopped at Casey's gas station, picked up the pizza for him, and on my way out, another Mustang pulls out behind me. And he's kind of revving up a little bit, and I'm just whatever. I'm going about my way. And a Baxter County Sheriff's deputy was walking into the gas station as me and the cop pulled out. He was inside.
Bexar, Baxter County?
Baxter, Baxter.
Is that the same one that was in the news that arrested a bunch of auditors, or is that in Texas?
I'm not sure.
That's okay. Sorry.
I doubt it was Baxter County. That'd be Mountain Home, Arkansas, if it was. And they've got some crooked shit going on up there too. I've been finding out. Well, actually, up here, I'm in Mountain Home right now. I've been finding out more. Yeah, I've been finding out more and more about what they've got going on up here, and it's just insane. Most of this whole thing that happened down there stemmed from up here, from this whole careless driving deal. So anyway, I'm on down the road, and me and the other Mustang, we're kind of rolling through town, whatever. Our cars are both loud. It's 2:00 in the morning. There's nobody on the road. Literally, Mountain Home is the kind of place that they roll the streets up at 7:30 at night, and you don't see hardly anybody past that. It always has been. It's just a little. I think the town's maybe 15,000, 20,000 people now, and it was a lot less than that when I grew up.
You're in the middle of nowhere. There's no big cities around you for a long way.
This place is 2.5 hours from anything.
Wow. Must be. What would you? Okay, keep going. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. So we get on down the road, and all of a sudden I see blue lights just blazing up through town, and I figure it's that cop. So I figure he's going somewhere, doing something, whatever. I'm gonna get out of his way. So I just go ahead and pull into O'Reilly's parking lot that's up at the top of the hill right as you leave the city, or right, it used to be city limits. It's moved out now, but he pulls in behind me, and I've already got my car shut off, and comes out his face is so red, I thought he was going to have a damn stroke right there in the parking lot.
He was angry?
Angry. Comes up hollering, "What the hell's wrong with you?" I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" He goes, "You were sitting there racing through town and this, that, and something else." Racing who? Where? I don't see anybody else. I'm stopped when you got here. You had to slam on your brakes just to turn in where I was at. So he goes, he writes me a ticket for careless, and he was so impatient he wouldn't even wait for my proof of insurance. So he tried to write me for no proof of insurance as well. And I was like, okay, whatever. And he tried to be slick when after he gave me my tickets and everything, when he was fixing to leave, he goes, "All right, so which one of y'all won?" I don't know what you're talking about, man. We didn't race. There was no winning. So anyway, I go to court on this, and arraignment comes by. I plead not guilty. I try and talk to the prosecutor right then and said, look, man, this is going to be really easy to take care of. Here's my insurance card that shows I had insurance at the time. He wouldn't wait for it. Where's the person I was supposedly racing? Nobody else was ticketed but me. I wasn't racing myself. I don't see any dash cam footage that shows me racing. The officer can't swear that he saw me racing. He was inside a gas station. It's impossible. Even if I were, which I wasn't. So judge says, all right, we'll set it down for trial. And the trial comes up, and I'm actually out of town up in Missouri, and I'm trying to make it back. I overslept, and I called the court. Hey, look, I'm 2 hours away. I'm supposed to be in court in 30 minutes or whatever. I'm on my way, but it's going to be 2 hours before I get there. And they said, oh, well, you're just going to get a failure to appear, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh, I mean, I'm not trying to fail you to appear. That's why I'm calling you to let you know, hey, I'm coming. I'm behind. Well, they said, oh, well, they gave me the runaround. And finally, I talked to a lawyer up there in Mountain Home that I'd known, and I'm not his biggest fan. I never was. I fired him in court once before because he was weak. Like he
Gotcha.
couldn't have a wet paper bag he wanted to. He'd come, but I got better deals on negotiations than he did.
Right.
And at the time I was early 20s, maybe. Still thought I knew everything and didn't know a damn thing, as it turns out. Anyway, so I have to pay him $500. That way he can go enter as attorney of record, and they don't issue a failure to appear all of a sudden. Why they couldn't do that for me when I made the phone call and let them know the situation, I don't know. Just neither here nor there. So it gets pushed out another month. This is around November 2nd was the trial date. I'm ready to go to trial. I can't wait to get put on the stand and just absolutely make this cop look stupid. I couldn't wait to ask him how he could identify my car by what it sounded like and how fast I was going by how it sounded. I didn't know that was a rate of measurement for speed. I've been around cars all my life, and I've never been able to tell you how fast one was going by how it sounded. So anyway, the November 2nd date comes around, and the cop magically doesn't show up to court. So the prosecutor automatically asks for continuance. Judge grants it. They're like, well, we let you have one, so he gets one. I said, well, you didn't really let me have one, but this is your dog and pony show. I'm just here for the ride, so let's go.
Right.
Now, at the time, this is 2.5 hours away when I lived in Greenbrier. I'm having to shuttle back and forth for these court dates. This is my third or fourth trip up here for this. My lawyer told me, all right, go ahead and go. I'll send you a letter, or I'll give you a call and let you know what the new trial date is, so on and so forth. And the clerk should have sent me a letter as well. That way, I mean, that's just per rules of the court, their notice requirements. And I called them on it because they didn't. Well, apparently my new court date was December 16th, and I didn't know it. And I don't remember. It was early January, I think. I had actually kind of forgotten about it for the moment, just out of mind kind of deal. And I had about 6 or 7 of my friends call me up from Mountain Home saying, hey, man, you got a warrant. A warrant for what? And they said for failure to appear. When the hell did I fail to appear? So I went and pulled it up on their website, on the warrant website, and sure enough, I had a warrant. And so I called the court and was like, or actually I called my attorney. I tried to call my attorney 3 or 4 different times and never get a call back. I sent him emails, no replies. He goes to swearing up and down that, oh, I emailed you 16 times and I called you 20 times, blah, 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 blah. And he didn't. I said, man, I've got phone records. You've got phone records. Let's compare them.
And this was your original failure to appeal.
Right.
And this is the whole reason why that pig was messing with you.
Yeah, that's the whole reason that the license was suspended, that gave him the grounds to do what he did, or made him think he had grounds to do what he did.
And what am I looking at right here? What is this other body cam footage from Greenbrier PD? What is this?
Let's see. That is.
Go ahead.
Let's see. That's actually the footage I took, I think. Is that about 15 minutes long or something like that?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I took when I finally got my phone back. I on the slick hit record real quick, and that's why it's really bad angles all over the place, but it gives you some insight into a couple things.
Okay, so this is you recording him. He walked up with the clipboard and said,
Yeah.
"You take this," and then he goes to give it to your wife.
Right.
You want to identify yourself?
I can guarantee it's my wife and Officer Woody.
If you watch the other cops that are around him, scared of him.
Which has been dismissed numerous times.
Then shouldn't be a problem for you to get dismissed again.
You're correct.
So this guy's got 2 cameras on you, but he has to still put you in torture cuffs.
Yeah, I'm still in cuffs right now. That's part of the reason that the camera angles are so awkward. I got him to let me get my phone so I can get in my truck, because I have there's a code that I can punch in on the door,
right,
and get in that way, because they weren't going to let me go in my house without him, and I wouldn't let him come in my house. That's game over.
I'm just trying to get a picture. There's the pig's. There's the pig's face.
Yeah.
That's what the pig looks like. There's the pig. There he is right there. That's the guy right there, y'all. That's him. That's
yeah,
the
I have
piece
no
of
idea what
shit.
you had out for me.
Pig
I've never met him a day
sucking.
before in my life.
Oh, so Sean, I'm going to give you some honesty here. I just took a look at my background is actually sociology. I wrote a textbook on sociology called The Code. It took about 11 years to write the book, but my background is understanding demographics and sociological aspects of different scenarios. So I took a look at your demographics where you live. It's 95% white. So that would mean that you're not rich, right?
No.
Right. So what they do in areas where there's not black people, they target black people first, and that's the reason why police were created originally. So if there's
funny.
What's that?
It's funny that you say that. I literally gave that exact same explanation to a black gentleman on Taya's thread that said something along those same lines. I said, "Man, in these little small towns in the South, if you ain't if you ain't a member of an affluent family or have quite a bit of money, you get treated the same exact way. We're the replacement."
That's right. You're the replacement for the
rude to them, but
that's right. For the black skin. If they can't get black skin or brown skin, poor white skin will do fine. It'll do just fine. I saw that up in Ironton, Ohio. Bunch of good people up there. They just don't have any money. Some of them are former drug addicted. They're not anymore, and they're beating it. But yet they continually target anybody who doesn't have the resources to fight back, or the education, or the backing of the people. Those 3 specific aspects is that people are afraid, people are uneducated, and people lack financing. Those 3 specific ways.
Yep, and that's I've looked through a lot of different procedures and laws relating to this, and I've had to go outside of Arkansas's information to find a lot of what I needed to understand what I needed to do. Arkansas is intentionally vague about it, and they give you the same line. You know, for instance, in the statute about taking the car, it says that you can petition the circuit court to get the car back. It doesn't say what you need to petition for. And if you don't file the correct wording and all that crap, it's gone. It's out. It's dismissed because they'll find whatever technicality they want to. And I've already filed the day that the car was sold. Ironically enough, I filed the petition for replevin. I read through the code forward, back, probably 10 times before I ever decided that's the way I was going to go. And that's the one that made the most sense. It gave me the option to get the vehicle back as well as damages, not just damages for the car. That's not my goal is not damages. I want my car back.
Okay. And let's talk about that. How much is that car to get back? How much money is it?
Supposedly $3,600. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. Normally to me, that's not a lot.
What are you talking about? That's a lot of money.
It can be. And
no, it's a lot of money.
In my life, I mean, it can make or break somebody's year for sure.
That's a lot of money. It would take. I would probably have to do 3 or 4 fundraisers to reach that amount of money. I mean, we did a fundraiser for a guy for his wheelchair. We raised $7,200. It took like 7 or 8 fundraisers, and a few people in this room now put in thousands.
I actually have some stuff like that around here from when my grandparents were getting older, and in bad shape and stuff. And most of it never got used because my grandmother was just as proud as they come.
Right.
And stubborn.
Oh yeah. So now the car, is he gonna? Will the guy let you pay it off? Is there a way that we can have a conversation with him? Is it reasonable?
He tries to be, or at least he tries to appear to be, but for me, it feels very much like an act to an extent. I've spent most of my life learning how to read people, and I'm fairly decent at it most of the time. And I've actually got a recording with him where I asked him, I said, look, are you willing to sign an agreement with me that says you won't get rid of the car? And that it comes back to me. We'll work the deal out, whatever it is, however I got to do this. And what if I got to pay you? Or if I offered to give him a complete different car. I have a 2009 Saturn Vue that I was planning on selling anyway, that I've got to fix a couple things on that somebody gave me for some money they owed me. I offered to give him that in exchange for my car. That way it's car for car. Yeah, I'm going to take a hit on it. I'll work on that in the back end in court. I offered to join him on my lawsuit against the towing company, the city, and all that. That way we can sue the tow company for his money back that he paid him. I told him flat out, I said, look, man, I don't have anything against you. I don't think you did this. You just happen to be a third party to the whole deal that's kind of in a spot. That was before I learned a few other things about the whole situation. So the junkyard owner had paperwork that there's no way he should have had, because they were letters that were addressed to me and or the towing company from my complaints. And he had them there in his hand that day. He had my car disabled. He was warned that I was going to be coming to get it because they told him about the lawsuit.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It is, and
if he was willing to be reasonable, if we could pay him off month after month, then we could do that money. I would just do a fundraiser every month.
So what he told me, or actually he told my wife, he won't call me back. He probably because he sat there and lied to me, or not lied to me, lied on me in his affidavits and stuff, said that I refused to leave his property and all this other stuff. And I did refuse for a minute to get out of the car because I was trying to maintain control of it. I had the car.
Right. You were in possession of it.
Yep. I was 10 seconds away from backing it up and putting it on my trailer. If I hadn't had to go by myself, I'd have had it.
Right. But then they'd come and arrest you.
They would have. I had an order for delivery with me that had been signed by the clerk. As I went by the code to a T and said, if they don't respond in 5 days to the petition for replevin and try to dissent, then the clerk can issue a order for delivery and a bond, and on bond. I couldn't get anybody to answer me where the hell I'm supposed to get this bond, or how I'm supposed to get it, or what I'm supposed to do with it. So,
right. Right.
I did everything I could. And every time I've asked somebody a question about this stuff, excuse me, every time I've asked one of the court people a question, or just anybody to do with it, I get told the same thing. We don't get legal advice.
Well, let's you and I talk about it when we're not online live, and let's you and I work out some logistics. Let me talk to this guy on the phone. Once I put my name on something, I can't back down. So,
I'm the same way.
It's just, and so is your email address, is it at Outlook or is it at Yahoo?
Either one. They're both mine.
Well, I got trolls coming into my account, so I don't know how.
So it's
don't tell me now out loud. Go ahead. I guess you can. Yeah, your first and middle initial, and then
either one of those two domains.
Okay. Got it. Okay. So now this other video here that I was taking a look at. Sorry about that. So there's this one. There's the pig right there. So everybody, I'm going to get a screenshot of him, and I'm going to put him in my community tab. I'll show this to Don Andre Investigates for the worst pig.
Oh, he's gonna have fun. Just a cursory search of that guy brings up some interesting stuff about him. His department, when he was a sheriff, was responsible for a gentleman unaliving himself.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they knew he had severe depression issues and stuff like that, and decided to go in, quote unquote, using Rambo-esque tactics.
Oh, of course, that's how they roll, bro.
Shooting into the
So there's a better shot of the pig who walked up to you. So this pig walks up to you and says, "I'm just going to detain you while I do my paperwork." Look at that troll. Look at that piece of shit. I mean, look at him. "I'm just going to detain you while I do my paperwork." And then, I guess your wife just didn't know the law. She just didn't know that she could tell the pig to go F himself on her own property. She just didn't know that.
I had been teaching her as much as I could and getting her for the longest time, she was so meek and meager, she wouldn't buck up or stand up to anybody. And I've been teaching her, look, in certain cases, here's where you can push back, and this is how you push back. I've been accused my whole life of having an issue with authority, and it's not authority I have an issue necessarily. It's unjust authority or undue authority over me.
It's Briar. What is it called? Briar Ridge? Is it a Briar Crest?
Greenbrier.
Huh?
It's Greenbrier.
Greenbrier Police Department, Arkansas.
Yep. Yeah, their Facebook page has been getting blown up. From comments.
I'm sure. I don't even see it. I got Jacksonville Police Department, but I don't have a Greenbrier. Let me try it like this. Let me go.
Let me shoot you a link to it.
Greenbrier Police Department, Arkansas. Let me see if I can pull it up this way. Greenbrier Police Department. Well, there it is. I got it. I'll put this in the chat for you guys, and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at here. So there's that pig right there. And then here's Greenbrier Police Department, 6.4 thousand subscribers. Sean, every time I get the chance, what I like to do, if I can while I'm live, is I just like to give a call over there. And I know it's Saturday and it's late in the day, but that doesn't really deter me.
I'd be surprised at the answer.
Greenbrier Police Department.
Ma'am, is there an officer on duty right now that we can have a conversation with?
Yes, but he's currently busy. How may I help you?
He's busy?
Yes, sir. He's currently busy.
Did you see that guy, Sean, down there, where that pig came to his house and stole his car and then threatened his wife to arrest her on her own property? Did you see that?
I heard about it. I haven't seen it.
Oh man, the video's pretty egregious. You can look up the guy's channel. It's Sean, SHAWN, and then last name BRES, and then Nahan, NAHAN. So it's BRES and then Nahan, NAHAN. Sean Brez Nahan. So that's just sounded out. But man, is he still working there?
It depends on what officer it is.
Oh no, this used to be a chief at a different pig shack, and then he came over to Greenbrier, and I guess he's not the chief of pigs there. But I'm just wondering, did he get any kind of reprimand or anything, or the way he treated that family on their own property?
Not for sure, sir.
Not for sure, huh? Yeah, it's pretty bad. Most people no longer trust police in America. I'm not a criminal or a felon or a recovering drug addict or any of those things. I'm just a journalist, and I just cover people's stories when I see they get cheated by the pigs. And you guys got a real pig shack there in Greenbrier. You got a real pig shack there. Do you know any?
If you have a problem with our officers, you can always call Monday through Thursday and speak to our chief.
Well, the chief is the chief of pigs, so he's not going to do anything.
You have a nice night.
Okay, you have a good night too. I mean, I guess she got that cop stick so far, like trying to get the jizz all the way down. She's trying to swallow. What a piece of shit she is. She's in on it with him. They're all in on it together. You know that.
That may or may not have been his wife. Not sure.
Oh, that might have been the pig's wife. That's right. That might have been the pig's wife. That's crazy. That is crazy. That was the piggy's wife I was talking to. So
she's also who I had to go through to get the Freedom of Information request done.
Oh, she's the blocker?
Mm-hmm.
There's the link to their Facebook page. Let's take a look here just real fast and see what we got. In reference to the dog being shot. Oh, this is a great pig shack. They haven't posted since 2020.
They've got 2 Facebook pages.
Who covered this video? This is a little different than Teo.
That was done last night. I just saw that this morning.
Yeah, here's the deal. That guy's a great reporter. He's really good at what he does.
that video had me. That I woke up to that this morning, and that had me rolling. Just some of the stuff he had to say.
Oh, Brian's hilarious. He was in here earlier in the room. The cop in this video should be fired immediately. How'd this idiot graduate the academy? And there's 300 comments here. So it looks here. James Paul, I want to report this mechanic that lives near me. He fixed his car. He had the audacity to see if the car was working correctly, and he drove it on the road. Tell us, did your officer tow this man's car, threaten his wife? The Second Amendment of the Constitution exists in large part for purposes like this. It must be embarrassing for the police chief in the city to have incompetence exposed. What they're not saying is they don't need to leave city limits to be tyrants. They can find several ways. All involved should be fired, charged. Wow. Well, it looks like the community is at least from around the country is showing up for you.
Yeah,
So
a lot of them are. There's been quite a few trolls that I've just had to brush off, but and a lot of them will sit there and try and throw out just nonsense. One of them actually said that I had an extensive criminal record, including assault on a police officer, which is without question completely untrue. I've never had assault on anyone in my life. No.
That's it's funny that you say that because last week or so I was pulled over and they had put in the notes of the police whatever they use, the system they use, that I had a propensity to be suddenly violent. So they put that in there. And because they put that in there, they detained me. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So I'm suing all of them. I'm suing the pigs in Nevada who detained me. I'm suing the pigs in Ohio who wrote down on the police blotter that I had a propensity to do sudden violence. So I'm suing all the pigs. I'm suing the pigs for wrongful detainment here in Nevada, and I'm suing the pigs in Ohio for defamation. You put your hands on me, I fucking sue you. It's that simple.
I spoke with the mayor trying to get this worked out because I knew the mayor. At least I thought I did. I'd done some work for him at his house.
No, you don't. No. You're poor, dude. You're poor. You come in and do your work, and we'll give you a little bit of crumbs. But you don't come around here and think that the elites are going to do your bidding. Okay, just remember that. You're poor white trash. Poor white trash. You don't get anything from the elite whites here. Okay, just remember that.
I've had my run-ins with them twice. This is the third one, I guess. The first two were civil deals. My wife had a beauty shop there and she moved it to the house. That way she didn't have to pay all the rent for having a storefront and all that stuff. And they made us move this building twice. The first time I paid to move it, and I had them come out and said, all right, you show me exactly where it can go and we'll have it moved. And they did. And it cost me, I don't know, I think it's $1,200. So the very next day they come over again. Oh, you can't have this building here. I said, no. There's the stake that your guy drove that said this is where it can go.
You had to move a whole building?
Yeah, it was a 12 by 24 building. And I told him, I said, if you want it moved again, y'all can pay for it because I'm not paying another dime.
You jack the building up, you jack it up and put it on wheels and move it? Is that how you do it?
The guys that move them around, they had this little, almost like a skid steer kind of thing they used. They put, it's already sitting on skids that they jack it up and put it on blocks, kind of like they do with mobile trailers or something like that. But they charged, which they had to come all the way back out this time. I caught them on their way out of town before when I had them come back the first time. But the city ended up having to pay to have it moved again. And I ended up having to take my fence down and redo my fence to have it where they said it could go. And I had the mayor, I had the city council, everybody out there. I said, I want every one of y'all to point exactly where this can go. So I'm not doing this again. This is it.
Right.
Wherever it gets set this time, it's staying. I don't care what your ordinance is. Next time I just had gravel put in the driveway of my house. This has been a few years ago. And I have my truck, and actually you can see it in the picture. I've left it sitting right where it was just because they can kiss my ass. They told me that they were going to come take that old square body Chevy that's sitting in the front yard because it was abandoned and non-operable. I said, I can go out and start it right now. And it's got
who said that? Who said that?
The city code inspector or some.
Did you get a recording of him saying that?
I didn't. And at the time,
before you knew.
Yeah.
So did you?
He said, "Well, we'll just get the city attorney." I said, "Hell, give me his number. I'll call him myself." I bet you.
Before this, though, I know you've had some. We've all had run-ins. If you are any kind of freedom lover that the pigs have been involved with your life. So did you know before this that you just have to record pigs all the time?
I learned.
Right.
That's why as soon as I got the opportunity to start recording, I did.
Yeah.
I was actually, when he popped back out of his truck and said, "I'm going to detain you," I had my poker game open. I was playing it, but I was also looking up the laws that he was going to try and use and what I could use to get him the hell away from me, because I wasn't exactly sure exactly how that was going to work, since he made up the details leading up to it too. He said he initiated the stop before I ever got my driveway, blah, 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 blah. I was out of my damn car.
Right.
With the hood popped. That, not only that, where he said he saw me is no more than 600 feet from my driveway, but he said I ran home. I didn't run home. I was already going home.
Well, if you're running, then they're in hot pursuit, and that creates exigent circumstances. That's why they'll make. That's why they lie. Right, I know that, but that's why they lie. They say you were running or fleeing, because then that kicks in exigent circumstances, and then anything can happen to you. Your rights can be violated. They can do anything to you if they claim
felony fleeing in Arkansas.
So what I'm going to do, Sean, I'm going to send you this Fifth Amendment cop card, driver and non-driver, for you and your wife, and I'm also going to send you 2 trifolds, one for your car, one for your wife's car, where you invoke the Fifth Amendment. And as soon as you send me your email address with your full mailing address in it, then I will send you the Fifth Amendment cop card and the trifold, 2 of each, 100% for free. Every single person should have the Fifth Amendment cop card in their wallet, especially for number 4, when the cop demands ID. You have to say what's in the yellow. You see the bright yellow? You see how there's quotes there? My right to free speech is protected by the First Amendment on number 6. On number 5, it says my right to free speech is protected by the First Amendment. Number 4 says, while filming, I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as a good citizen. This is for your wife. When she claims that she doesn't have to show ID, instead of showing ID, you just show this. You just have your wife show the Fifth Amendment cop card, and then she can stand anywhere she wants on her own property. And I don't fault her for not knowing these things. Look, I got no knock rated 20 years ago, 21 years ago, and ever since then, I got a whole wall of Supreme Court cases and the most on point state Supreme Court cases in the country. And this is all I study. This is it. I spend all my days and nights just doing this. When I saw your video, I couldn't find your channel, so I was showing Taya's video. God bless her for showing it, Brian for showing it. And I hope that we can help you. I hope that we can help you.
I really hope so too. That's what I was hoping by getting it out. And when I got a hold of Taya, and I was actually surprised when she got back a hold of me, because this entire time, everywhere I've turned that's supposed to be, the channels to get this taken care of or to get it remedied, I've been told the same thing. Everybody gets hung up on the traffic citation part of it, and they stop listening right there. Or they tell me, well, we can't give legal advice. Well, I'm not asking for legal advice. I'm asking for legal education. There's a big difference. I'll do the work. I can do the work myself. I have no issue with that whatsoever. I actually like it. I like learning it, because that makes me a little bit more smarter, a little bit more prepared, and a little bit more able to help others if I can, or to protect myself and my family. That's been me my whole life. I get tenacious when it comes to learning stuff, and I don't stop. I can't tell you how many nights I've stayed up and got 2-3 hours of sleep and back up and doing it again, doing this and just researching different case laws and different codes. I've read the Arkansas State Code and the Administrative Code so many times that I can just probably damn near recite it.
Right. You know, it's funny, because when I first started studying constitutional law in 2002, and I remember, yeah, that's when I started studying constitutional law. And, I used to call myself a constitutional law researcher. I used to say I was a junior researcher, and then I did a bunch of channels with lawyers, a bunch of, how they have the panels. So I went on panels with different groups when I first started on YouTube. And pretty soon the lawyers started telling me, you are the foremost constitutional law scholar that I know. I've never heard anybody say what you do. So what I'm saying is that if I'm able to garner that amount of respect from people who went to law school, you're just starting your study. Within 5 years, man, you could easily know as much as I do, more than I know. You could know as more than these lawyers know. You just have to be willing to study consistently. You just have to be, every day my superpower is reading, and I read for hours every day. I spend most of my time actually reading. It's caused my eyes to go a little bit bad. So
mine too. I've got my glasses around here somewhere that I usually wear when I'm studying and reading. And I've actually gotten in the habit of letting whatever device I'm using read to me.
Oh yeah, I do that a lot now. I have an app now. I take a picture of it and it'll read it to you.
Yep.
And then I do a lot of audiobooks as well. Like I just listened to Injustices Again by Ian Millhiser, because I was doing my prep for constitutional law scholar teaching. And so I just constantly am listening and learning something new every single time. I never stop. I don't ever stop learning, ever. Never stop putting it out there, ever. Every day I come out here and say, if you can't afford my card, I'll give it to you for free. Every day I just keep putting it out there. And it looks like that's what you're going to be doing now for a long, because these pigs now, they're going to target you.
Oh, I'm fully expecting that. And I invite them to bring it on.
Especially now that you came on my channel, the trolls will call those pigs and say, oh, Sean was on Chille's channel. So now you got to have that dash cam rolling. And the moment you see a pig, I saw how you were recording slickly, but let's get rid of that. When you record a pig, you record them just like this.
And I would have in that instance, but I was still in cuffs.
Right. You were in torture cuffs, and this guy could have taken you off to the dungeon for no reason.
And I have no doubt in my mind what was fixing to happen. I've been in my share of fights in my lifetime, just like everybody else, teenager and whatnot. When the second officer arrived on scene and he was sitting there, me and him were going back and forth about me being detained and being put in handcuffs. The second officer started making a show of pulling on his leather gloves. And I knew right at that moment what was fixing to happen next.
Murder gloves. This is my enema glove, and this is my frontal glove, and this is where I'm going to stick my hands up in your crevices, and this one I'm going to stick my hand up your ass, and this one's fingers are going to go up your nostrils, and I'm going to put my fingers in your mouth with this hand. And it's just
I figured the next thing I was fixing to hear was stop resisting as I was getting the shit beat out of me. And I thought for a split second about going ahead and taking it. I don't think I could have. I didn't want to actually catch an assault on a police officer charge.
The first rule is do no harm. So do no harm to yourself. Do no harm to others. What I'm saying is don't go to violence. They want us to go to violence. They want you to fail. They want you to start swinging. They're prepared for that. They have all the weapons and militarization in the world. That's not how we're going to beat them. I mean,
they tried to provoke me over and over and over again, and I wouldn't let them.
If there's an all-out revolution, then we can beat them in a violent war. But I don't want to be a part of a violent revolution. I don't want to see my friends and family die. I don't want to be a target for some moronic troll who was a pig his whole life. It's like, I can't wait to shoot Chille. It's just I don't want to go into. If we go to any kind of physical violence or a war, then we failed. We failed to get it done diplomatically, and we allowed these jackboot thug pigs to pull us into this absolute tyranny. Now, if a city like Atlanta, where they're trying to build a gigantic cop city, if that place went into a fiery revolution against the pigs, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to shoot or kill people. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to do any violence. But if they did happen to do some stuff and all those those pig shacks got burned to the ground, I don't endorse it, but I understand it. I understand why that would happen. I understand why they would burn Cop City to the ground. I understand why. I'm not saying to do it. I'm not endorsing it. I understand.
No, but they're provoking it. If people don't understand what provocation looks like, and just pushing people's butts and pushing people's buttons until they won't take any more.
That's right.
All I gotta do is look around. It happens every day. I can't tell you how many comments I got from people saying, "Oh, you were way calmer than I could have been. I would have done this, that, and this." And I said, no, I knew from the outset what was fixing to happen, and I knew what the path I was fixing to walk was. I'm not going to make my walk any harder than I have to, because they're going to make it hard for me. That's their job. That's what they get off on. I'm going to just disappoint them at every turn I can. They don't control me. They don't control my emotions. They don't control my reactions. I do. I don't allow other people to control my emotional responses.
Well, if you do, then you're going to get jerked around like a damn,
like a kid.
you're going to get hammered, and they're always going to take, like, look, when I first started on YouTube a couple years ago, I was 46, almost 47, and now I'm 49. I was 47 then. And, I didn't have any of the effects of middle-aged man until the end of my 48th year. And now I feel the effects of being a middle-aged guy. I grapple a 28-year-old guy in LA, and the guy can just dominate me. And I've never in my life been, never by anybody ever. Like, nobody could ever just dominate me, ever. And to be just dominated by a guy in his 20s, I just realized now I'm past my prime. I'm no longer the physical guy. I tried to pick up my training partner last week. I tried to just pick him up off the mat and just kind of give him a jerk around in the air. I couldn't get him off the mat. I tried hard, and I felt my back go out. I said, "Oh shit, my back!" I'm used to grabbing someone by their waist, locking hands, picking them up in the air, and I can just slam into the ground. I couldn't even get his 200-pound body off the ground and just pick him straight up. And I was like,
leverage becomes a challenge when things start to hurt the next day.
I was like, holy shit, I really am a middle-aged guy now. And so I've had to just accept my reality. And also, it's like not my job to wrestle every pig that I hate. It's my job to become the leader of the pigs and change policy from the top down as the governor. That's my job. That's how I see it. And until we get to that place where there's a governor in charge who will change policy from the top down, nothing's going to change, because we're not going to get rid of the black robe tyrants in our lifetime. We might be able to get them elected, but we're not going to be able to abolish the idea. Go ahead.
Of just literally starting over, I don't see a way to get it out in any quick fashion. And even starting it over, you still run the risk of it reverting right back to the corruption that's always been.
That's right. That's right. And violence.
Most of this stuff is mafia tactics 101.
That's right. And I don't want to. I don't want to solve our problems with violence. Listen to me. Do I think that a good old fashioned ass kicking where things change? Yeah, it'd be great. But the problem with that is that our friends and family get killed in that process. People you love and cherish die. And I don't want to be a part of something where I look back and there's hundreds or thousands of dead bodies because of my leadership tactics. No way. No way. So that's why I always call for peacefully protesting, petition, assembly, speech, press, and suing them, using your right to petition the government. But do I wish that we could, just wipe out every cop shop in America if they could just automatically just be disintegrated? Yes, I do. I can't stand any of them. They created dungeons all over this country, and they create the dungeon where, you can't even go near it, or you're a threat. You're going to try to break into the dungeon and get the people out of the dungeon. No, you're not. Nobody's going to try to break into a dungeon. They're using drones now to drop off their chemicals. That's how they're doing it. They're addicted to chemicals. They get the drones to go through and drop the chemicals off. The prison guards are getting cut out of the loop, and that's why the prison guards are so mad.
Yeah, they're not getting their cut of the pie. Everybody wants their taxes. That's what it boils down to.
So Rob T, if you want to shoot me an email, somehow identify yourself so I know it's you. You and I can have some deeper talks about this when I'm not here. Listen, anything else, Sean? I got to get out of here. I got a kid's birthday party, but anything else you wanted to add before I let you go?
Oh man, I'll let you get to your kid's birthday party. If we get a chance later on, I'd love to have some conversations with you. I think I can learn a lot.
Yeah, shoot me an email with your mailing address so I can send you out the Fifth Amendment cop card and the trifolds, and I'll send them out right away.
Absolutely.
I send everything immediately now. There's no delay. So if you guys are waiting on your order, if you haven't had it within 2 weeks, contact me because there's a problem. Within 2 weeks, you should have had your order by now. I don't wait 2 seconds. All right, let's do this again. I'll bring you back on. We'll watch a couple more of those videos. All right.
Excellent. I'll get some more put together with the audio from the tow truck company and the mayor, where he says you need to just go ahead and file a lawsuit. So I gave him what he wanted.
All right, we'll do it. Talk to you soon, Sean. Later, buddy.
All right.
So that's Sean, everybody. Make sure you get over to his channel and subscribe. I saw another video from We the People University covering this same pig shack for Greenbrier Police Department right here. So this was the one where the guy was napping in his car. I'm pretty sure. Can you guys see what I can see? I guess I could just go. So this is from We the People University. He showed this video. This video is 3 months old.
Name, man? I'm not giving it, man. I have not. Get him out. Step in the car, sir. Step in the car.
So Pennsylvania versus Mims does state that a police officer can order you out of the vehicle.
We're gonna cover this. We're gonna cover this another day. We're gonna cover this another day when I have more time. I got to get the flock out of here. I got an 8-year-old's birthday party I got to go to, so I'm gonna go to that birthday party. Make sure you guys get the Fifth Amendment cop card, get the trifold. I got these down for $10 for the Fifth Amendment cop cards. I think someone ordered 9. I think Jack Boot Thug Pig ordered 9 of these earlier. I'm gonna throw you a couple extra sets in there, Jack Boot Thug Pig. So yeah, make sure you guys have the Fifth Amendment cop card. Sweatshirts and t-shirts are done on Monday. So I'll have them on Monday night. So I'll have them on Monday. A lot of you guys have contacted me. I will let you guys know as soon as those come out. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming to this stream and supporting Sean. Make sure you get over to this Facebook page, the Greenbrier. I'll drop the link in here. Make sure you bash these pigs. Make sure you go to their Facebook page, which is a public entity. So I'm not sending you anywhere that's wrong for me to send you. Make sure you get over to that Greenbrier, post this video so they can see Sean talking himself. I'm going to get the flock out of here. Clown Patrol, thank you for coming. Beware of the night. I hope that you do order 17. I'll give you far more than that. I just want to get them out into circulation. Wanda Meese, always good to see you. Soy Leal, always my pleasure. Jack Boot Thug Pigs, good to see you. Dave, thank you for your contributions today. Mark, thanks so much. KT, got nothing but love for you. Alan Hub, I'll have your short video ready to go tomorrow. I already cut it once. I'm going to recut it again. Alarcia, I'm glad you're back. Good to see you, hon. GMA, it's good to see you. How is everybody? Thank you so much. Teneblis, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Some guy, you were here. You always add to stuff. Gloria, Lenny, thank you for coming. I super appreciate it. Mr. Bones is here. What's going on, Mr. Bones 420 Nation? Chris Boudreau had a lot of great stuff to add today. Canton Hall of Shame. I saw some of your things. You should email me some of that information so I can cover it on another video. I'd like to get into that with you. I saw your comments, but I'm just trying to stay as focused as I can. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. I super appreciate it. To my mainstays, Gloria, Chevy, Mikey, Greg, KT, Special Ed, Andrew, Unisex. I got your trifold and Fifth Amendment cop card shipped off day before yesterday. You should have those very, very soon. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Jim, always good to see you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.